if you look at 2024 PMGC, Regnum Kaya technically should have won. I think if it wasn't for the fact that we had the East Island finish, Game 6 in Miramar, I think Regnum Kaya would have absolutely taken the title. I think D plus Kia came out on top and they deserved that win. It was just a pretty grueling end for Regnum Kaya getting across there. D plus just takes the risk, takes the gamble, and it pays off. But for Regnum Kaya, the difference is I think that Sarah was a very selfless player. Disregarding all the comments, all the rumors around when he's playing on the team, guys, obviously. But I would say he's a very selfless player in game, where he would play the off angles. A lot of times he would be the first to go down, but the first to scout. And I think they really needed that. Now they're working with a completely different beast altogether. In this case, a wolf, who he's a bit. Yeah, they're going to need. I think Loxy has clutch potential, and I think that even so, Loxy still might have to relinquish that rollover towards Zedwolf and play more of the off-angle position. No hate towards Loxy. I think he's an incredible player. I think the potential ceiling is higher for Zedwolf, though.
All right, well,
we could theorize all day. We could theorize all day.
Look, he has shown his capabilities time and time again in the previous stage, and I'm sure he's going to show us something special when it comes to the remaining stages. And definitely one of the teams that should be making it to PMGC, whether it's points from Turkey or like Turkey points, or whether it's from PMSL. I have high hopes for the roster. And of course, you want to qualify from PMSL. You want to qualify straight to the gauntlet. So it's just top 7 out of 16, straight to the PMGC Grand Finals. That's what you're looking at. If you qualify by points, you will have to go through the group stage, then onto the finals, where or survival stage rather, where it becomes exceptionally difficult for a team to qualify. But ladies and gentlemen, the game is just about, like literally just, we're right there. Okay, we're right there, I promise. So like now, I'm getting those oral words. Game is ready. So here we go to kick off the second stage, the knockout stage, PMSL EU, with our first match in Erangel. And once again, we are having a very southern path on this map.
Yeah, we're getting straight into it, very much down towards the south side of the map at the moment. I always find that this kind of drop spot is a little bit difficult for some teams to contend with, and making it happen is not always easy either. You have a long way to head up towards that north side, and it cuts out a lot of those areas that you might want to go to if you're a slightly less confident team like Merny, even Zaki. So I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, those areas are a little bit more difficult to get towards. It's a bad area.
Okay. Questions? That's all I needed to know.
I can go tomorrow. I think that Zaki locks you into a pretty difficult position. I mean, you're coming out of Zaki, you're at the end of the queue for multiple reasons, right? You're coming out of Zaki, you're at the end of the queue for North George. You have people move up towards shooting range that will cut you out. You have a limited vision because you're not really getting a lot of that info early on in the game. Okay. I think Zaki's fun as an ending. I don't think Zaki's fun as a start.
Well, I hope for a Zaki finish in one of our games. Not sure it's going to be seen today. Not sure it's going to happen. But you know what? I will hope and pray for it, and hope and pray for a fantastic first game. But look at the start here, bro. Starting off with that first blood, and Fenerbahce, the team that started with the highest points on that first day of the survival, or the group stage rather. This time around, not having the best of luck. Guys, remember, this is not Rondo. There's no recall. Don't go for the early fights. Why did you lose 3? What's going on?
I know, and again, this is the difficulty with a super southern playing path like this, where you still have 20 teams here. You're all unsure of what the optimal drop spots are for you. You're not always going to have the best position on the map. Keystone goes down. Now Valo actually taking out one player there, which is nice to see, considering Falcons haven't always had the best track record with hot drops. But yeah, there's really not a lot of places you can go to. You are looking for vehicles. I think Fenerbahce drop on 1 and they prioritize getting the vehicle and getting out of there. But it was well played from Pro. They were able to get weapons earlier and catch them out before they even were able to escape. But Fenerbahce, not a good start. Not a good start. Especially when you only have 12 matches here. Now it's 1 match striked off the card already.
Yeah. You have 1 player that might have the potential to play for play. But I mean, what hopes do you have of just 1 player from the beginning of the game until the very end? It's not something to really count on. and knowing that you have 12 games, you got to make it top 16 out of 20 to make it to the next stage of the competition. So I would say you're allowed one mistake. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 games where you can have 0 points. Outside of that, you really don't want to be repeating that kind of mistake. So you got to stay on top of your game.
Everybody gets one. But again, it's difficult because would you classify that as a mistake, or would you classify that more as it's just integral to the knockout stage and the fact they got a horrible playing stuff?
I mean, I don't think they should have lost 3. That's the problem. Losing 3. If you lost 2, you could have a duo. At least it would be, you'd have someone to play with, someone to cover with you.
It happens.
But being a solo, it's just way too difficult, and I think it's going to cause them a lot of problems.
Yeah, it happens, dude. I mean, where they were dropping, they're trying to drop on that singular car spawn, right? It's unfortunate Bro drops on top of them, and they had no weapons, so I don't really know what you want the third guy to do. I mean, maybe you can go stealth.
Survive.
Yeah. I think those things do happen. It's unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, everyone does get 1. I think those type of starts of the game, excusable one time. And I think for Fenerbahce, it's likely something they'll note down and be like, well, probably shouldn't go there again, considering also the Bra is one of the more aggressive teams in the early game historically. So, yeah.
A little bit more aggressive indeed. Now, one of the things we haven't had a chance of seeing, which was TNB and Ano Famagusta, one of the teams that, or well, 2 teams that drop on melee base, had a little bit of a split start this time around. Both teams will be making their way to the zone a little bit early. I'm surprised that they're dipping from the military base already. They have a little bit more time to maybe load up, but maybe they're prioritizing positioning for now.
Yeah, you've got Circle that still encompasses Lighthouse, so you kind of want to get across the bridge, or at least get to a position where you can scout the bridge early on. Because teams can play that position for quite some time. We still got 3 minutes until we hit stage 2, so holding teams out there wouldn't be a terrible thing. But yeah, we are having a little bit of the mind meld going on between these 2 squads, both wanting to do the exact same thing at the exact same time. I really do think it's a struggle to have more than 1 milli-based team in a match at a time, because not only are you worried about the scout over towards Lighthouse and people holding you out, but now you're having a fight that happens earlier, which further delays that rotate. And it's not like you can play over towards the east side either, because the team playing Conservatory. So yeah, it's tough.
But I like the fact that, I was gonna say I like the fact that they're not gonna fight. Noisy Boys completely ignore Anorthosis Famagusta and try to cross that bridge. Maybe they can turn the tables on them. Kenzor, unfortunately, spotted out. Wagner's going to pick that one up. Oron might be next to follow. One more bullet will take him down, Milas. But remember, he has no armor. He has no helmet. He really has nothing outside of his UMP. But he is applauding. There is a response from ISO. Lovely. Trades back and forth.
Yeah, that's a really good retrade back into Wagner's Arda. It's also super beneficial that my guy had a full med kit on the go. We'll see how Anorthosis Famagusta deals with some. What a name, by the way. Real mouthful.
This fight's not done. It's default. Trying to step up to ISO a little bit. They managed to secure the elimination onto Kenzor, and now default might be in a little bit of a sticky situation. But at least they didn't lose their member. Wagner, there's an opportunity for a revive on him. It looks like Noisy Boys might be continuing this rotation and ignoring, just staying at this bridge. They don't want to bring any more attention to themselves. They don't want any more teams camping them out.
This is rough. And honestly, something that needs to change. And I do strongly believe that if this continues, I mean, one of these teams is likely going to drop out of the knockout stage, because you just can't continue this approach of 2 in milli base and having to deal with this fight over and over and over again without the option of going over to the eastern side either. One team needs to relent eventually.
I mean, they are not in the same group from what I can tell. Anorthosis is in Group C with Bushido, Wildcats, Nextruya, Team Falcons and Besiktas. So let's just get an idea as to which. I'm assuming it's Group E that isn't playing in game number 1. I'll double check and make sure to let everyone know.
I think that the thing is that even if they're not playing in the same group, it's still going to affect them, like overall in the games. Like, also, why is our conservatory team coming over towards the west side right now? Like, just play east. This is a crazy maneuver. Like, you can easily wrap Yaz.
They might be testing things out here in the knockout stage. Might cost them the qualification to the main event. I don't know. They want to be trying these kinds of things out here. But Wagner is looks like he's still on the hunt for one of the players that was a little bit annoying towards him from the Noisy Boys. Not sure if they're going to be able to find it, but we switch over to Paparo Supermassive a little bit as they are taking over west of Rozak right now.
It's a rough circle twice in a row right now where heads up towards the northern side after having a particularly rough southern plane path. The Noisy Boys as well as Anathosis will just continue going at it here. And it is not going well for either side. But ASG might be able to get in and get something done from the sidelines, but all three teams wasting a lot of time.
Ooh, hold on. Where's the third party? Yeah, that's right. It's Asgard. They heard a lot of this fighting. This is exactly what I was talking about. Why are you waiting outside the zone for so long? The second the fight was over, you could expect maybe someone's going to come third party, and that was Asgard. One of our strong teams and strong contenders coming in from the group stage. Anarthos is a force to be reckoned with. That's why I'm surprised that they're making this kind of mistake this early in the competition.
Yeah, I mean, the players on Anathosis are actually genuinely pretty nice. It's a good nade. Macron as well. Over the top, we'll take down one. But was this really worth it? Was this really worth it for the amount of elims they're able to pull out and squeeze from this maneuver? With him moving over towards that northwest side, again, you could have been long gone. Up Yaz, across bridge, over the top side of Severny. Instead, you've got teams already making that rotate right now, looking to get themselves into a fantastic position. I think Asgard just gives up a great spot on the map for 2 elims. That's... I don't agree with it.
Yeah, definitely not a worth trade for the team. Don't think it's going to have a massively important impact on them. Or negative... I would say positive impact, rather, with all those delays. And now, you're going to be losing out on some stims, some heals. You're going to lose out on a lot of information you could have gathered if you were here a little bit earlier on. The fact that you were...
as well.
Yeah. And everyone's going to be looking at you the second that you walk in, because there's going to be a lot of teams playing around the edge, I want to say, considering that we still have a lot of teams. We still have 16. No one's eliminated yet, team-wise.
Yeah, I think for Asgard, like, they could be in the position Boars are in right now. Just west side of shooting range. It's a lovely spot to play in over towards the dead trees. Instead, they're rotating with 0 information over towards Gatka Fields. It's a terrifically bad scenario to be in. But again, let's take a look at what's happening on screen. We've got X-Slay coming against the remainder of the Noisy Boys. Let's make a rapid dash over towards Ruins. I'm surprised they got here, honestly, Sandstorm. I really am.
Somehow they made it all this way, only for X-Slay to be able to push them as a 4-man squad. You can try and revive, but Noir's just... he's trying to find the right angle, and he does. The second you revive him, the knock comes back in. Easy nade, easy fight. And that is going to be X-Slay starting off strong. 2 eliminations, not losing anyone unless... hold on, we got another fight here. IDA and Kara. And then they just decide, maybe not. Maybe just no.
Yeah, that's a difficult ridgeline to breach, honestly. Anita holds it fairly strongly right now. I'm glad that team has stayed together the way they have. It's a very, very strong team. All the players on side I'm a big fan of. I always enjoy when squads tend to stay together as well. It's a lot of young, up-and-coming players as well, where I've been a very, very big fan of them during their progression.
Well, Besiktas right now progressing towards the likes of Falcons. They were able to get themselves a little bit of damage, but Falcons are the one that strike first with 2 quick knocks. Can they finish off the rest of the squad? Or will Falcons be losing any more of their teams, any more of their players? Rather, Narvalo securing the elim onto Zeptimus, so no revive in that situation. Why is it always Rauf that gets eliminated first? Because he's always scouting for the team.
Well, yeah, you could say that. I guess you could say that.
He's always the first to go.
We'll try not to be mean about it.
It's not mean. It's facts. He's scouting. It's always the scout that gets eliminated first because he's always the one that's trying to get the information.
Yeah, it is. Generally, you would prefer if your scout lived a little bit longer than 14 minutes, so you can.
Rauf has like a 10% higher chance of being eliminated if he's scouting for his team. I don't know why.
He's got like a debuff on him. Yeah,
so. a little bit. He's just too strong. Must balance Rauf.
Yeah, it's not easy, Falcons, in that sense. Because you look at a player like Silas, for instance, his scouting is way safer. And a lot of times gets a lot more done with it. I think Ralph struggles to replicate that type of gameplay. But it's not that he's a bad player.
I feel like he'd always go that extra mile, but that extra mile is always just one too far. When it comes through. Yeah, just a little
super
bit.
Treacherous. And it sucks because I think Ralph is one of the smartest players in the game. In esports, at least for PUBG Mobile, his gameplay just hasn't really kept up with the times. There are moments when he absolutely pops off, and I think they have to keep him because his tactical know-how is that good. But there's definitely been some moments recently where I've seen him and been like, it looks like he's made a real effort to improve mechanically, and that is obvious to me. Yeah, these scouting plays do need to change a little bit because you're right. You can't keep going down first all the time. So much of a non-plus for the rest of the team.
Yeah, because then they end up being in a situation like they are now, where they have lost a third member, if I'm not mistaken. They have a third one on the ground, and looks like it's just going to be one player left standing, one player left alive. Matters to get all the points for Falcons, and that gets added to the list alongside Fenerbahce as a game that has been wasted. Meanwhile, Boars, they have Yusuf from Xlay focusing on them, and that's going to be a free elimination going over to them. Havlik might be the next one to follow as well. A lot of damage coming over from Emre. And IDA looking for their first elimination. It looks like Boars bite the dust. 0 eliminations in 14th place. Famagusta right after them as well. Teams are dropping like flies as the zone has put them in quite a precarious situation. With a little bit of water and a lot of open ground.
Yeah, we're over towards Center Island, just west side of Rozhok. There's a horrible circle to be in. So non-committal as well. A lot of these rotations have been royally messed up as well because of that early playing path. I think a lot of teams try to get ahead of the curve by moving over towards the north side. They cut out looting time to do that. Now the circle comes back down towards the south. There's a lot going wrong here.
Quite a lot indeed. But some things are going right for the likes of Xlay. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from this team at the beginning of this day and at the beginning of this game. 4 eliminations. They haven't lost anyone. Decent enough position right now. Holding onto this castle and just watching quite a lot of players. And then there's a little bit of a split among them as well. So they're trying to gather as much information as possible. But we'll get back to them later, as right now, Bruh and S2G. So a little bit of posturing, a couple of nades, and a decent bit of damage, forcing Bruh back. This time, S2G stays safe for now. But for how much longer as they move in?
HansG is down again for S2G. I think they've made a pretty big effort to try and work more as a team. Obviously, it didn't work out for them in the group stages. They just barely scraped in, but I think that it's a big change. It's a big change in their playstyle. It's a big change in their gameplay as well. Adding a new IGL into the mix, that's never easy to contend with. But I don't mind this position. They have the majority of the landmass to work with. They do need to deal with Bra on their sidelines though at some point. But yeah, this is horrible. This is a horrible circle. I think a lot of those teams that you were mentioning down towards Ruins are going to massively suffer now. Most teams are already set up over towards Bridge, holding underneath it. So yeah, I think if you're on the south side, it might be game over at this point.
Yeah, I don't see a world where they're going to be able to make it, not with all those teams already on the northern side. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see exactly just how difficult this next move is going to be for a lot of those teams. Xlay, Asgard, IDA, and Kara as well. That last player from Oscar Esports as well, Hardman, he's going to have to swim a little bit. He might be the only one that survives out of all the teams currently located on the south side. Shockwave in a decent position this time around. Shockwave was a team that we were exceptionally worried about in the last week. They were one of the teams that made it with a difference of 1 or 2 points, and they had to watch on the final day, but we'll get back to that. As Xlay are in a little bit of danger, and this is exactly what we were talking about. The rotations later on from the teams coming in from the south.
Put out there a little bit, but
are gonna get bloody. Right now, Lazy gets peaked. Lation takes him down. 6 for Xlay. They lost War and Yusuf.
Out. And again, they make it a little bit further than I expected from that south side. But still go out fairly early in 12th place. You know, there is a possibility for Xlay to actually make this one work from Castle. Just a question of how willing to some of these teams over towards the northern side want to get involved, want to influence this southern engagement. You know, if this heads down towards the south, towards Center Island, you know, Xlay could have a really good game. So for teams like Shockwave, as well as BRA, they really do want to punish teams moving across.
Yeah, that they do. And Lation just trying to hide in the car for as long as possible, and they can see the smoke from under the water. He's not going to survive for that long. I mean, that's my opinion anyway. We'll see if that's actually true or not. Meanwhile, Yakta from Xlay just throwing nade after nade after nade. He knows there's a couple of teams in front of him at the moment. Thing is, he has to cross. The zone is forcing him to start moving. How much longer can IDA survive the onslaught and the barrage of nades coming their way? When will they actually respond? Darkin peaks, Darkin takes Yakta down, and now it's all down to Lation from Xlay. And IDA have 3 eliminations to their name at the moment. Ooh, hold on. They're still not safe, though.
Ida's definitely struggling. I mean, this is not an easy cross. There's barely any cover to work with, and Xlay already moving across here in a position to get shots down range. It's really nice. It's very nice indeed.
Now CEO and Kara somehow were able to cross without any issues. They themselves have secured 4 eliminations as well. Just trying to make sure that they can sweep that southern side, not give any chance for another team. And they managed to sweep up Madcap as well. He goes swimming with the fishes, eliminated in 11th place. Now we're down to 10 squads and 20 players only. So you're looking at 4 for Bra, 4 for Kara, 3 for Shockwave and S2G. And then it's just a bunch of solos. Xlay, Besiktas, Falcons, Papara Supermassive, Oscar, and IWNRX all have solos left in the field. But if I'm being honest, Blank, there have been quite a few situations in the previous week where we have seen exactly what player can do. One player was able to do so much, and specifically you mentioned Ozrox. And I remember Rogo from Ozrox being able to get 3 knocks with 3 nades. And that was the best that we've seen, basically, from that team. Just that solo play. And Elation here, you know, he spots out. Quick little knock and a limb. He knows he's not going to survive that long. He knows he's not long for the world. And decides, you know what, I'm just going to try and get another point. And we know how much every single point is going to matter here. And to start with 7 elims and a decent amount of points. And Lation, he's on the lookout for more. He finds Poser and he takes him down. That's the 4th elimination for him and the 8th for the team. But that is it for him, says Lewis. As Xlay is eliminated, and so is who, I wonder. It is Oscar, and now we're down to 8.
It's a funny one with Kara right now, just constantly peeking the guy with the hard cover on the other side of the river. He's doing great work there. I mean, for Lation getting all the way up to 8 limbs total off the back of that. 8th place, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. BRA, though, taking a field day with this game. But I will say I was very impressed with S2G's movements. The fact that Shockwave aren't able to make their way out from that southwest side, I think Icy does a really, really good job being that backstop for them. When they actually moved out, he'd already got the read on them immediately, called for some backups straight away, got some shots over towards them. And after that, Shockwave actually loses a player, and S2G is able to restabilize on the northern side. So very, very impressive. Again, this is move further up towards the high ground, towards where S2G is playing. I think it might be difficult still fighting off against BRA, though, with the force that they have on side. I think they are just going to start racking up the points off the back of this game. It will be a lovely one to get the chicken dinner on.
Yeah, and a great way for them to breathe life back into the roster. I know it's only the knockout stage, but when you're talking about S2G, this prestigious organization, barely making it to the knockout stage by a difference of 2 or 3 points, you want to see them start off strong, and that's exactly what they're doing here. But Bra is still that nuisance that they have to deal with if they want to take complete control of this game. Bra has the full lineup and 10 eliminations at the moment. If anyone's starting off strong, actually, it's them, and they are looking for more. They are looking for Narvalo. They are looking for Falcons. They're looking for that dub out of the top 5 right now. Make it 4 as Falcons are out for the count.
Yeah, they needed to deal with Bridge. There was no other way about it. They had to take out the players from behind there because very, very easy to get backstabbed where currently the RA is playing. So it totally makes sense to me that they would go for that play anyway. S2G have set themselves up well. I think my main question is whether S2G and BRA fight early, or do they kind of, have a gentleman's agreement, look over towards Shockwave, take them out first. I imagine BRA is going to look to see if they can find a knock early and then move on top of that. This is fairly aggressive coming through from Quantum, but he is getting good info off the back of it. And in the meantime, S2G's forced to deal with Shockwave crashing in. This is absolutely BRA win.
That it is, as Shockwave looks like they have just sealed the deal for them with that engage on S2G. The knocks might be in favor of S2G, but the eliminations might just go in favor of Bra at the end of this game, and they are looking for a record setter in this one. They have 12. They're looking for 16. They're looking for 17. Can they secure all of them? Kisyu just comes in and takes every single one of them away from Shockwave. That is just disastrous for that lineup. Solkai, the last one alive. And down he goes. 15 eliminations for Bra. Lost the last member standing from Papara Supermassive. And this entire lobby against 3 from Bra Esports. We know exactly where he is. He's going to try and take this fight 1v1. Kisyu steps up. What's that SPLK going to do? It's in a 1v3. Okay, lovely. Makes it a 1v2 now, deciding to go for the heal. He wants to go for this play. He wants to go for this clutch, and it is entirely possible if Bra do not play this right. Lost decides he's thinking about finishing that elimination, finishing that knockdown, securing the point. He knows everyone matters here. And he might not be able to take down the last 2 members. He throws a couple of nades and then completely switches up his position. Might go quiet.
Completely smoked themselves off out of vision here. I don't think this is the right play. I think BRA, though, got to imagine that he's swung south here. I think it was very doubtful that he would have been able to swing north. I think they had vision on that. So as L starts to creep up, this rock could give him some extremely good high ground potential if he can find any kind of purchase on it.
The fact it's a 3v1 and Bra are playing essentially a 2v1 and reviving just goes to show how careful they are being here. They know it's a 3v1, but still, seeing that one of their players get knocked, the potential for a 1v3 is there. And they don't want to have that happen to them. Lovely little scouting from them to check out exactly where that last player from Papara Supermassive might be. And he might just be eliminated to the blue zone. The fact, listen, why? He couldn't have gotten here, could he?
It's actually I don't want to say it's embarrassing, but the fact that they smoke themselves, no way. Is he rapping off the back of this? Is insane. The fact that they smoked themselves off the south side as well as the hilltop. Oh, come on, please.
No!
That's the double. Oh! Get the last. Oh, so close. I mean, for BRA though, that was actually criminal. I don't think they ever should have made mistakes like that. That was crazy. Oh dear me. But yeah, the only way he could have swung was south. And they were throwing nades on that car for so long. And what's the golden rule? Is if there's obvious hard cover, you don't hide behind it. So why would Lost be behind the vehicle? Yeah, BRA goes from what looked like a masterclass of playing on North Rozhok's side to a really, really quite, let's just say, a weird ending.
Yeah, I agree. It should have been a lot. I mean, look, it was the fact that it was a 3v1. He knocked one down. They went for, you know what? Let's just play for the revive. You revive, okay, and you've wasted like a minute or two just dancing around the zone, driving. Yeah, and so much utility. And it was still put down to 1v1, and he actually almost flicked onto that last player. No. It should not have been that close. But you know what? What matters is they sealed the deal. They got the elimination. 16 elims at the end of that game. 10 points for that chicken dinner, of course. They're going to be very, very happy with that start. And when we're talking about 12 maps or 12 matches per team, you're talking about one chicken dinner and then decent consistency in the rest of the games, and you should be perfectly fine. You'll be able to qualify. So, bruh, already feeling, I want to say, like, not that much pressure left on their shoulders at this point with this kind of start. So as long as you keep it up, you should be good to go.
Yeah, I'd say they're around a third of the way there already off that game. 26 points. I mean, do that 3 more times. I think that you're relatively set, I would say. And here's our MVP in Storm. 1,100 damage. Not bad at all. But yeah, I think that it's such a weird one for me watching that match and like how well they played the early game to just how badly they played that late game. I think there was no need for it overall. I think maybe it was a little bit of showboating towards the end, which got a little bit spicy. But yeah, I do feel also quite bad for S2G because although they played a fantastic north side of the circle, honestly, they really did. It was a moment where Shockwave were just like, we gotta pick and choose who we want to crash here. Again, I feel like when we looked at Shockwave, I think it was very obvious to me and you, Sandstorm, that that's a case of this is the last stand. That is a last stand approach. They know they're going down, but they're going to try and see maybe 1 or 2 eliminations off the back of it. I think there was another way they could have played it. That was definitely the most BM way they could have done it over towards S2G, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would say S2G was collateral damage at the end of the game. And we were talking about them so positively as well. It's like, yeah, go on, S2G. That's the organization we're used to. And then it's just all of a sudden Shockwave push, get a couple of knocks, Shockwave go down, they get thirded, and the game just kind of unravels there for Esports and Lost. It took us on a lovely little journey.
You did.
Around the north side of Rozhok and the north side of, I want to say, Erangel in general. It was a lovely little tour, and it almost came to a crashing halt when it was a 3v. I still can't believe he made it to a 1v1. I still can't believe he did that. That's crazy. In that situation, I would have wanted him to win, 100%. Just for the clutch moment. That's all. The fact that it was a 1v3, made it 1v2, back to 1v3, and then into a 1v1 is insane. He should have never had that opportunity in the first place. But the fact that he did, very, very cool for him and Papara Supermassive. But unfortunately, it did not work out in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for Lost, every clutch moment, it's not just luck for him, right? It is preparation when he gets to that end game. And with the all-day 120 FPS on the GT30 Pro, it's the alpha gaming phone.
That it is.
Gamers don't crack. And you can, they can hashtag carry.
How many R's is it?
1, 2, 3, 6 R's. Yeah, drop the 6 R's in there. And then drop that hashtag all over the place. But yeah, we were very thankful to Infinix and the GT30 series, GT30 series, helping us put on this show here at the PMSL EU. But overall, very cool. just hilarious to me that BRA literally lost in that moment. But we'll be heading in towards our second game shortly. We'll be over on Miramar. We're getting the lobby set up as we speak.
Yeah, but of course, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, since it is the knockout stage, every single game we will have one group be swapped out. So that means we are going to be having a little bit of a, I think it's going to be funky today. I like it. Just a different flavor every single game, throwing it all in there together. And I want to see who's going to be swapped out, who's going to be coming in for that second match. So let me see if I can find that out exactly.
Yeah, pull it up. But yeah, overall Miramar, it's always fun. I think it's difficult though. Again, with the groups shifting in and out right now, and with varying play styles, a lot of teams over the last year, it is a little bit more difficult to work with in the group stages, the knockout stages, because you're constantly playing against different teams, playing in different types of solutions. I think that it's definitely fun. We're going to check out some replays from that last game because there was certainly some highlight moments. Falcons taking down one player from Papro Supermassive. I think Papro Supermassive actually made the right play very early in that match where they headed over towards Bridge. And they played that out as long as possible. In my opinion, I felt like it was going to be a Bridge finish, but the fact that it kept pulling north is really hard. And we always got to go back to that moment where we had the Southern Plane Path. But here's our match ranking for that one. S2G coming away with 12, I would say very well earned points. 26 for BRA. We talked about that quite a bit. Papro Supermassive able to get 8. Falcons, with the help of Narvalo, who's a real trooper in that game, getting 8 points for themselves in 4th.
Yeah, managing to secure 3 placement points was very, very good for them. Xlay, again, 8 eliminations, 0 placements this time around for them, but as long as they were able to get themselves some points. Unfortunately, teams that weren't, you're talking about Boris, you're talking about Fenerbahce, Noisy Boys, Oscar Esports, not the best of starts for these lineups, and it's going to be one game gone to waste for them. Let's keep in touch with them and let you boys and girls know exactly who was present in that first game and who was not. These 16 teams have 4FS, Jetgo, Regnum, and Ulf were the ones taking break from game number 1. So they'll be jumping in, and we'll be going backwards from Group D to Group A in terms of the teams that, or the groups that will be skipping the match. So next up, there is not going to be a back-to-back or potential for back-to-back chicken dinner, as Bra, Fenerbahce, Oscar, and Xlay Esports will be the teams that are dipping out of the next game. And for the first time today, Ulf, Regnum, 4FS, and Jetco will be jumping in. So, and of course, with it being Miramar, it is going to be very, very sunny. So make sure you have your shades. Unless you live in the UK and Ireland. We don't believe in the sun because it just doesn't show up, really. It did today, though. I'll be honest, it did today for me.
So it's a weird one, right? Because, I mean, I'm of that opinion that the summer is quite short in the UK. But right now, it's getting I don't know if I'd say short, but it's really intense. So we're getting I'm getting 35 degrees at the moment. Like, that's crazy.
That is really hot. 35 here. For the UK is kind of mad.
Yeah, 35 degrees for the UK. And I still, well, that moment where it's like, when do I start investing in like multiple shades and start investing in actual sunscreen? Because I just never expect it. I'm like, well, it's only like a couple of months a year. So do I really need to do this or not? Yeah, I think we're reaching I need to own multiple shades territory.
Multiple shades, brother. You just need the one. That's it. You just need the one pair of shades.
Casual shades, going out shades. You know what I'm saying? Supermarket shades.
Oh, see, you're not a true gamer. I don't go out in the sun. I stay indoors all day and play games.
Damn, I wish, dude. I wish. Got errands to run, man. It sucks.
I mean,
don't like errands.
Yeah, we just want to play games all day. Unfortunately, we're not professional players. We don't have that opportunity. But we do have 49 professional players in the lobby right now. We're waiting for the last 15 to jump in and then hopefully take off straight away into Miramar. But with it being a different group joining and a different group leaving every single time, it is going to take a couple of minutes longer for us to set up those lobbies, but don't worry, production is on it and we have our lovely team taking care of it. I mean, we've seen the match ranking for the previous game, and guess what? The match ranking for the previous game, it's actually also the overall, because yes, we've only had one game. Things haven't changed. So yes, that's the result for the day so far. Just 4 more games to go.
It's always fun. I also, I really like the production didn't show the overalls, because I've had a fair few times where we show match rankings and overalls. I'm like, yep, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Well done, production. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, so not much will change, but this is definitely be a case for a few of our teams. You're right, though. BRA not playing in this one is a bit of a kicker because it would have been nice to carry that momentum through from Erangel onto this match. But I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that Erangel is a bit of a wild card. Erangel with the southern plane path into a northern push on the circle, into on center island, and then northern push again. I don't think it was very easy to predict.
It's happened a couple of times over the last few days as well. I would say we've had at least 3 or 4 Erangels that have been southern plane path plus northeast or northwest zone. It's been ridiculous, but these teams have been used to it just from the last couple of days. I want to say it's been hectic. Okay, and Miramar, a couple of them have just been very south, very southeast, a decent bit of water. It's been driving the players crazy, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. But I'm pretty sure the players may not have been. But ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. Here we go. Game number 2, Group E, taking a break. Group D, jumping into the fray. And into Miramar, we continue with our second game of the day. Let's see what the new group will have to show for us in this one. And let's see what kind of plane path we got. We have a decent one. I like it.
Yeah, this is nice. Again, I was watching over on day 1, day 2, and day 3, and you had a lot down towards Partona, you were down towards Chumacera, you had stuff happening over towards El Pozo. And there wasn't a huge amount, I want to say, over towards La Bandita, Los Leones, and Impala, because this is actually quite a nice place on the map to play a lot of times. And instead, because I mean, obviously off towards East La Bandita, you got East La Bandita Fields, which is not enjoyable, but generally the game plan is the same a lot of times for that area of where you need to go, where you need to post up, depending on where you started in the circle. Down towards Chumacera, Partona, it's a little bit different story where it's like you get what you get, and if it sucks, then well, that's what you're gonna have to play with.
Well, you know what, we had one of our previous games on Miramar being very, very close to Partona, but not close enough for any kind of finish there. And would you look at that? Not a bad plane path. I would say not a bad zone with the plane path that we have at the moment.
Yeah.
So very happy with that.
Sorry, I was just going to say the main thing about this circle is just that we have a lot of high ground involved. I think a lot of players don't mind this kind of one, especially if you Besiktas early on here, as well as the Falcons. You can play over towards East El Pozo Hillside, which is nice. I feel like I'm disliking La Cobreria as a drop spot more and more as time goes on. I feel like any team that plays it is always quite late into these zones, but this is one of the few times where it's like, actually, this is pretty chilled out.
And it is going to be a very chill time, specifically for Shockwave, all the way up in Ruins. Okay. I think a couple of times they were dropping with Falcons around El Pozo, so definitely don't want to do it this time around.
Yeah. I mean, Monte Nuevo is open, but I think by the time you made the commitment over towards Ruins, you sort of stuck with that one. Again, Ruins and another Zaki location, I would say.
Yeah, it is the Zarki of Miramar, isn't it?
Zarki of Miramar.
It is the Zarki of Miramar.
No, it is. It's tough to get out of. I actually don't particularly like the loot in this area either. I
didn't think there was decent loot there in the first place.
It's just, so you're right. You are absolutely right. The only reason that it's somewhat viable is because of esports settings. That's the only reason.
So yeah, outside of that, you won't see a lot of people dropping towards Ruins, except moi, because I'm terrible at the game, and it takes me forever to loot.
Well, to be fair, if you're not playing an esports setting, dropping towards Ruins in your own games, totally fine. I am actually that guy that drops towards Campo Militar.
Oh, really?
I drop Minas del Valle. All these places are really nice because they're out of the way for a long time, and I can kind of, step my way into the circle and make the pit stops along the way.
You know, Are
you a hot dropper?
No, I'm a Campo Militar enjoyer as well.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I don't like hot drops, man. I can't tell it's because I'm old now. I just don't like losing the game in the first 5 minutes.
We're both up there, Blank. We're both up there, man.
Wait, I just
hold on. How old are you?
Well, me, I'm 29.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm 31, brother. We're there.
We're there.
You say, but you need to get like 30 plus. 30 plus is when it's like
It's downhill. Just like
I
Buffer
did.
Supermassive right now.
I didn't want to set that up for you, but yes, slightly downhill.
Hey man, I think what you'll know like your 663rd day of exercise. Is that the one?
637, 638, something like that.
Something
See,
like that.
you know what? Why didn't I pick the only thing I'm questioning is why I didn't pick this up like 5 or 6 years ago. Why did I
you
start
started
this
now.
in my 30? Yeah, I started when I'm
Started
30.
now.
But I'm gonna keep it going.
That's still good. That's still good. It's still good. Doesn't matter when you start, as long as you get it done. And that applies to a lot of PUBG Mobile teams as well. It doesn't matter when you start, as long as you get the job done. So if you want to get yourself into that top 20, that top 16 to go over towards the finals, now's the time to do it, right? Even if you're towards the bottom of the tables on day one, there's still a big chance to make it happen. And again, because we're playing these groups, we're not doing what we did in the group stage. You might have noticed in the group stage, teams only had 2 days of play. Here over in the knockout stage, every team gets to play at least once every day, most likely more. But the thing is that if you get to day 3, you've made some mistakes on day 1, day 2, there's still that time to have a look at the games and be like, okay, this is what we can change in day 3, and this is how we can make a big push for the top. Now, Besiktas was in the top of the map for quite a while right now. I think it's just a singular player in Rookie. Falcons already sent up, but they've got to be clean on these shots. They do find him. That's a big pickup, actually, Sandstorm, because I think the rest of the team is still up towards La Coplaria.
Yeah. I like the fact that...
Yes,
No. Yeah, I was going to say, this time around, Raouf not being eliminated early on, so big plus for him and the Falcons. And Besiktas losing out on their own scouter at the start of the game, losing out on Rookie. And that high ground will be claimed for Falcons. I thought that had to be one of the first things that they do from El Pozo the second that they see the zone is, I guess, where it is. In this situation, you take that high ground, you scout out a little bit, you get a decent amount of information. So, and the fact that it was just like a few seconds before the player from Besiktas was there. If he was a few seconds later, it would have been him being eliminated, him not having the low ground and the disadvantage. But great start.
Yeah, very, very good start. I think for guys who are on the Falcons, you get this kind of circle, you have to capitalize on it.
Yes.
Over from El Pozo towards high ground. It is, to me, it's a bit weird that Besiktas took as long as they did to try and regroup on that position. The whole point you have that is so you can anchor it and then send your players over that way. Not a very fun position to be taking a fight here for IWNRX right now. Kara upstairs. Very difficult to get the nades in over towards this building.
Yeah, but they're trying. Swain managing to find the opening onto Lewis. And will secure that one. Not looking good for Kara at the moment. CEO trying to see if he can find a response, an opening, something for himself and for the team. And looks like the idea might be bail. We want to play with our full strength at the rest of the game, so let's please survive. That could be the call. But Marceau is not going to be able to follow that call. He is going to be stuck in a 1v4. And Kamikaze just yeets a nade, forcing him to go back. Still not going down. Marceau's not going to make it easy. He is going to torture them a little bit. Not too much, though. He gets a knock. Lovely. Can he get another one? Nope. Unfortunately, not able to secure the elimination as well. He will be taken down. No points secured for him. And IWNRX, pretty happy with that one. They claim the position, and they get themselves a free point.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think that if you're IWNRX assault in that position, if you knew there was only one player in there, absolutely fantastic trade to go for. Because you can overwhelm that spot. Because as soon as you have hold of it, I don't think it's super easy to assault that position. I think I was over the conversation with Max the other day where that building's really hard to nade. And there's a lot of positions where you can just tuck yourself away. Which is why it required Swain to actually head up on high and just do it the old-fashioned one, the S12K.
I thought for a second you meant he was aiming with the S12K from that range. I was like, that's crazy. But no. Let's have a look at that second shift. Southeast or southwest we go. Looks like the teams on that higher ground are going to be benefiting quite a lot. I'm looking towards Besiktas. I'm looking towards Falcons. But Redox is very, very far. He's very on his own. And my question is, where are the rest of the Falcons going to be positioned if 2 of them are up on that high ground? If not 3 already, it's Rauf, Koa, and Narvalo. So it's just Redox that's currently left to his I want to say maybe demise, because DNB might be passing by, but no, looks like Narvalo is heading over to Redox. He's going to be regrouping, and he should be picking him up. Papara Supermassive and IWNRX heading in from the eastern side, but we're heading to the Noisy Boys.
I think if you're Falcons right now, I think that's the right choice. I do actually think that's the right choice for them. Get yourself regrouped on top of Redox on the north side of El Pozo, because that high ground doesn't really hold that much weight anymore. It's nice for scouting. You'll be able to pick off teams as they come on through, but it's not worth a whole lot anymore. On the other hand, you have team down towards the south of the one, which is taking control of the ridge side. And Falcons know they're never getting their hands on that. It was sort of like, it's one of those luck things where the circle went slightly more north. I think Falcons would have all stayed up on that high ground for much, much longer. But it's the right play. You know, you cut your losses. You're like, we might not find a huge amount of success from this building, from this high ground, but at least we can get some scouting done. Nice, a bit of a delivery there. But at least we get some scouting done in the meantime, whilst we have our players over towards El Pozo try and control a little bit more area. For FST, good shots over towards Septimus, goes down almost immediately. Goodness me.
This is the second time the Septimus has been taken out in the early stages of the game. Must not be happy with that one, because now Besiktas, this is a second game wasted. And remember, we talked about it. How many games can you stand to waste in this competition? Especially when you're talking about 16 out of 20? Maybe 1 or 2? More than that, and you are opening yourself up to so many things.
Did you see that? What is going on?
What is it? Wait, hold on. What is happening?
So Koa got knocked.
Yeah.
And then Ralph proceeded to throw himself off the mountain. And knocked himself.
And then Koa got knocked again? Wait.
I think Koa's just gone.
Are they Falcons? Yeah. No.
That's
Brother, no.
That's hold not on. Good.
No, hold on. I'm looking at the minimap. I see Rauf. I don't see Koa. And I see Redox and Narvalo still in El Pozo. He's gone. So basically, Koa got knocked. I think Ralph tried to drop down to get him, knocked himself in the process, and then Koa just launched himself off the mountain in a fit of rage. Koa be like, I'm a head out.
That's so frustrating as well, because that is an unbelievable spot to be having right now in the circle.
And it's gone.
That's bad, man.
There's no way.
The Falcons actually thought they could fly. You guys, it's a name. It's not what you are.
You cannot do it. Oh my God. So literally they threw the game.
They literally threw the game.
They literally 100%. Threw it.
While singing I Believe I Can Fly.
Believing is not, it can only get you so far. It's not actually going to help you fly. I actually cannot believe.
Yeah, real Buzz Lightyear moment, but whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
We moved past it. Shockwave in the meantime.
So we're not aiming for the van. We're aiming for the floor.
Aim for the bushes.
I'll see you on the other side.
Oh dear me. I wish we had a replay on that, so I'm so sad we don't have a replay of it.
Yeah, if there's anything we could get a replay for, it's this, please, for the love of God. You know, no. I want it with the comms. I want the replay with the comms and the POV cameras on the players. I want to hear exactly what happened.
It's just Koa head in hands, man. 100%. You know it as well.
There's got to be some screaming in the background. Meanwhile, Narvalo and Redux are like, guys, what's happening?
What's happening over there? What are you doing? That's funny. We'll get back to the game. It's just that is a funny moment for us, and you'll have to let us have that.
It's fine. Nothing else happened.
Yeah. Because we still have 15 teams left. I mean, it's been pretty slow going. And again, a lot of that is because of the terrain. You know, a lot of high ground involved. It's isolating a lot of these engagements to, 3 or 4 teams at a time in one space. And a few teams up on high who are completely protected, other than some, including Shockwave, who were able to get their initial knock over towards Koa. So really well played to them. Go 4FS, trying to rotate back through credit fields. Not sure what their plan is. I think a lot of teams would already be posted up. They could play in credit fields for a while right now, but I don't think it's optimal.
We'll see if it will be or not. At the moment, Asgard, I mean, Snowix is trying to dodge, but he can only dodge so many. Okay, hold on. He takes down Real. There's still a lot of bullets coming from behind him as well. The S12K can deal so much damage, but Akron is ready. There you have an S12K. I have a DBS. We know which one comes out on top in that fight. It's DBS 12 times out of 10.
It was a good pre-fight, to be honest with you, from Akron. I think Snowix had to have that moment of the instinct. You start pulling the trigger in advance. You don't even know he's coming, but you got to pull the ultra instinct on him. But yeah, it didn't work out. Again, I think there is an important thing to bring up right now is that the Boars are suffering right now during these two games. I mean, we're not super deep in. Good shots from Dakimi though over towards Tron. That is some incredible shots actually. Goodness me.
Dakimi is just letting them fly. So many bullets, but decides, okay, let's just chill for a little bit. One of our boys is down, and this is not going to be another Koa / Rauf situation, is it? But Jetco are trying to climb up here. This is going to be a 1v2, and the nade could spell their doom, but there is a little bit of backup.
He set the car off as well.
That was perfect.
That's amazing.
That's actually perfect. The car was just flying away too.
Dakimi's space program in action. I love it. Okay. Well, we got the vehicle in outer space. We've breached the stratosphere. Those players ain't coming back anytime soon. Well played. Very well played.
This has been the funniest game so far.
Yeah.
This has been.
Oh, you're right. You're hella right. Oh, dear me. Okay, side us down. That's from Wolf on that side.
Oh no, HamCG is down again. The first game's just, there's a lot of things repeating themselves from last game into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that
script writers.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely be much more harsh on S2G, but the thing is, it's so difficult because it's such a change in their gameplay right now from what they're used to. That I also want to be a little bit more lenient with that team. Again, though, I think HamCG and Kelsey just have this slight issue of overconfidence at times. That's the only thing I really want to say too much at the moment, because again, I think they'll get into finals. If they get into the finals, that's where I'll probably have some more criticism for them. But right now, I can be completely honest when I say that it is not easy switching IGLs.
Oh, it's definitely difficult for especially if it's an IGL that wasn't even with the team. Like if you're switching IGLs within the team, sure, that's half a mess. But you get someone from outside the team, someone new that you've never really played with. That's a whole different ball game. I want to say it's. And especially coming into a competition where the stakes are high. Because when you get to the finals, it's top 3. That's it. Right now, it's breezy. 16 out of 20, 20 out of 24. That's nothing. The barrier for qualification, you're talking about 40, 50, 60 points in 12 games, averaging 5 to 6 points per game. Yeah. That's nothing. But when you're looking at qualifying top 3, you need to average 10 plus points per game to be able to make it to the very top. And then make it and get to the grand finals. Smash rule comes into play. If you're not the best team every single day, if you're not able to pass that threshold, get that chicken dinner, it's not an easy task.
It is not. We're moving down towards the south side now, though. We still have that ridge side inside, which is going to cut off like basically the west and the eastern side teams. East side looks a lot more naughty right now because there is a huge amount of squads here, all struggling. I think that right now I'm looking at IWNRX to make their way through past S2G as well, both at the same time. Reckoning Carrier are slightly ahead. Have a little bit of a compound with. We'll play to Redux and Narvala though. They've been able to keep themselves alive for quite a while. Now Shockwave is struggling to get themselves off the top of this high ground. So Narvala and Redux both made the right move early on.
That they did. But the teams that need to make the right moves now. My lord. Ulf, S2G, Papara Supermassive. Oh, Asgard as well. Feeling the pressure from IDA. And from the Noisy Boys as well. T, just a quick... I would say it was just a quick bump, one and done. In and out. Job done.
That's correct.
Yeah. Dang.
That's all you really need. Make it happen fast. I think with the Falcons on that north side, though, they've been doing a really good job to clear out a lot of teams coming in from that northwest side, because as a two-man, you need to clear out as much space as possible. The Kimi, after all that, falls down. I don't
Imagine
know.
if the Falcons were full.
Yeah. They would have done a lot better. I don't know if the Kimi's dead. Or he's just knocked. I think he's just knocked right now and the team's going to pick him up.
I can't... No, he's still alive. I mean, could be. We'll see. It should be.
Slightly behind on my map feed right now.
Yeah, same here. But from what I can tell, I mean, might have been knocked, could have been eliminated to the zone. We'll find out in a couple of short moments, because right now, Catch from Ulf is setting his sights onto the 3 players that are currently outside in the blue. Here we go. Nico from Papara Supermassive peeking onto Shockwave, rather. Similar color, but the Kimi. Well, we have our answer finally. He's dead. Confirmed. He's got.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bit of a difficult crossing down here. I think they found, I think the Kiwi at least found a lot of value from that high ground position. I think Shockwave should have started moving out a little bit earlier. Papara Supermassive was able to completely swarm this area early on, which is good for them. Now working with very few teams still at full strength right now. We're almost into stage 6, which is not easy. But yeah, it's basically valleys and ridge sides. The pretty fun final circle, actually. We don't really see this one too often.
I just keep thinking about that high ground blank. What could have been?
It's cursed. It was very cursed.
Just seeing how this end game could turn out for either IDA or for TNB. I feel like depending on who has control of the high ground at the end game, whoever wins the fight between those two could stand to make a redonkulous amount of points. You can scout out Asgard, you can scout out so many teams coming in from the north, but we'll see what Scarface and Ulf are doing at the moment as they are applying the pressure to STG, and Solkai just sitting there. No response. Gets taken down, and it's 8th elimination. That might be the 9th. No, it's actually stolen. Taken away by Papara Supermassive and S2G. 9th place, 0 eliminations. That means 0 points as well. It looks like Ulf are standing to make quite a decent amount of points from this one. Papara Supermassive currently in 2nd, looking to take that 1st place. They already have a decent amount of eliminations, but it is Ulf that's stepping up to the plate, and Asgard looking to 3rd party as well. Nade, ooh, lovely from Aaron. Nice. Perfectly placed. Not enough to take down Trodby, but he's not healing. He's going to try and throw a nade of his own. Peaks takes down one, almost takes down the other, but Aaron is ready with the response, and that's the 10th elimination for Ulf.
Yeah, fantastic. So, I mean, Ulf has a crazy lineup, in my opinion, in terms of players. Ida finally let go of their star in Aaron, transferred over towards Ulf, and honestly, he's playing with some real veterans on that side. And I'm glad he's doing well on that team here. Very, very, very good player indeed. One of my favorites coming through from PMSL EU. Scarface, one of the masters of long range. Aaron, who's able to take the fight up close easily enough. Yeah, I do think Ida's got a real strong point of contention on this southwest side, but that's not counting out Anathosis, honestly. I think their little compound they're currently playing in down towards the east side could come in real handy later on. It's feeling quite central right now too.
So, I mean, it can be as central as you like, but if you're exposed to multiple teams, multiple players, it's not going to be an easy task for you. We head on over to Ida at the moment. They are the ones in control with that high ground, but it's also, like you mentioned, it is Anorthosis Famagusta. Decent position for them too. Can they make something happen with it? My lord, that high ground. That's crazy. I still don't understand how the cars are able to get up there, okay? I still don't get it.
They have their treads on them, dude.
I was gonna say,
specially made treads for getting up hillsides. Well,
some kind of traction on those wheels,
vertical columns. I don't know how it works, but it does. Good shots there from Wild. I mean, Regnum Curry is still rocking 3 players right now, getting up towards a high placing 2. And realistically, this team only 2 elims right now. They sort of want the 3rd place, but they're right on the edge of the circle at the moment. It does not make life easy for them.
No, it does not. Regnum Carrier trying to see if they can make their way in here, but the high ground is just dominated by so many teams. And look at this for Falcons. But they got to move. That's the problem. They got to move shortly.
I mean, hey, Matt, they've done fantastic to get to that point.
You know what? Incredible game for Falcons. Yeah, no mistakes at all.
Yeah, let's say Redux and Narvala have had a real
100%
of a game, dude. Yeah, it's been amazing. But we don't really want to talk about the other 2 players on the team all that much. But yeah,
they started as a duo, right? It was just 2 players.
Just them. They're the only 2 guys that loaded in. Yeah, getting to a top 6 with 3 elims. They got to be proud. I think they made some really good movements as well. Again, it would have been nice, you know, that split off was good. You know, 2 angles of attack there to work with, depending if one side went wrong. It would have just been nice if one angle attack was slightly easier, but goodness me, Redux is on an absolute tear. Is that through a tiny hole as well?
I was going to say, yeah, it looked like it. Falcons, I mean, somehow making it work. And the fact that now Papara Supermassive is eliminated, that just means that, hey, there's an opportunity for them to still stay within the top of the leaderboard despite the harrowing mistakes that were made in the early stage of the game. But hey, if you can somehow make it work, that's what matters. And now they're trying to get into the zone, but the focus is one more time. Regnum Carrier, Anorthosis Famagusta, what is going to be the play on your side? It looks like taking this fight. The nade comes in, not enough damage, but it's still decent. Redux, unfortunately, finally gets taken down, and it's all going to be up to Narvalo from Falcons to survive and get the points for him and his squad. Meanwhile, Noisy Boy is feeling the pressure from IDA, and Madcap just takes that one for himself. He's going to use that high ground. Focus on Narvalo now and focus on all the points that they can gather.
Yeah, Narvalo starts a little further to get into the circle, but he has to wait. Madcap needs to start making his way down off this high ground shortly because it's going to take him a lot longer to get down than it is for Narvalo to walk up the roadside. Good shots from Madcap. He is being super present inside of this match, constantly finding pickoffs here and there and feeding the information back to the rest of his teammates. I will say I was very impressed with what Wild was doing. You know, typically when they send out with the pickup truck sent down towards the side, you would have thought both players went through and was kind of baiting for Redux to stay in that position. Wild's not deterred. He just continues holding Mark on that spot.
That he is. And Anorthosis somehow still didn't lose a single member. That I'm surprised by, but hey, at the moment, the nades from Wild, they're doing a decent bit of damage, and okay, never mind. First knock, lovely. But do you actually push now as the squad? You have to now. You have to push now. Beautiful knocks coming in from Regnum Carrier, and it is going to be responded to, though. Z-Wolf goes down. The revive is finished. It is now a 1v3. They thought it could have been done. They thought it was all possible, but unfortunately, Anorthosis was ready for all kinds of pushes. They were ready for anything. And now it's going to be a log save. It could have been absolutely massive. Switches over to the DBS close range against an entire squad now. What can he do? Can he do anything? Can he do something? Can he secure some points? He's going to switch over one more time to the nade, hoping to get something done, but the response comes early, and Anorthosis come out on top. They don't lose a single member, but looks like IDA will pick up every single one of them if they want to. Three teams left.
wild there from Regnum Kaya. Really good nades. It's very well placed as well. Knew that one player try and peek him off the side of the building, so immediately picks up that locale next instead of trying to go for the flush. Just unfortunate that Ida still has this really good high ground to work with, looking down over towards Anathosis as well as Regnum Kaya, so they just can't make that push easily. I felt like Loxy could maybe have clutched up there, but it's a really nice grenade actually over the top, the air burst on him. Yeah, this is not an enjoyable finish to the game for any team up this mountainside. The Noisy Boys have been, in fact, quite quiet this match.
Oh no, looks like that the top of the hill is a little bit cursed as another one of the players drops to their death. Like you said, Noisy Boys, I mean, look, now they're starting to make some noise and their focus is IDA. There's going to be a 2v2. They try their luck through the smoke. Umre's down. One player left to go. It is all up to Darkin, and the spray through the smoke will get the job done. But Darkin goes down to the zone, and now it's a 2v3. Actually, no, 4v3 rather. And it is going to be Anorthosis Famagusta. They only have the 2 eliminations, but they do have a full squad. TNB, can they get any knocks before Anorthosis comes up to the top here? Can they use this advantage, even though just for a split second? Use the high ground before they climb. Try and be a little bit more proactive.
Bit of a wild grenade that's sent through there. Goes very long. They don't really have any information. These nades are just trying to provide space themselves, but look how wild they are being sent out. And Melas will find Aaron. It's just one player remaining now, Sandstorm, and it should be game over.
And it looks like it is, and Haisu decides, I might just be eliminated to the zone, but the players say, nah, not today. They claim the knock, they claim the elim, and they get themselves another point. And Anorthosis Famagusta, one of the strong contenders as well, coming in from the group stage. I would say they had a finish where it ended up being top 5, top 8 from the overall leaderboard in our first week. And now they get themselves that chicken dinner, and they're going to climb straight back to that top one more time. Sensational end for them. And it's a great start for Anorthosis, making up for the lackluster first game. But hey, a chicken dinner plus eliminations. I think they got 3 in the end, so 15 in total. I would say not the spiciest chicken dinner that you'd expect to see. But hey, at this stage, you want 16 out of 20. Any points that you can get. A chicken dinner plus 5, that goes a long way for you and your team.
Yeah, it's a super tough circle as well. I mean, with that high ground involved, like, it was cursed, like you say. People were just throwing themselves off it left, right, and center. Yeah, it's not easy. It's really not easy. I think for Anorthosis, though, they got very, very far into it. But for the Noisy Boys, it was difficult for them to hold up that position. Anorthosis, I think I said it very early as well. They just had a really slick position down towards that south side, east side in the concretes. And there really wasn't a lot of angles to work with. Regnum Kaya did incredibly well to get those nades through, and I think maybe Anorthosis like opens themselves up to assault there, but they're able to manage it in those final moments. It looked messy, but they got themselves a fair few points out of that game.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, as long as you don't have a big goose egg as a result at the end of your game, you should be happy as Larry. We've seen what happened when teams were losing out by a difference of 1 point. So the second that you get a knock, if you can get the elimination, do it. If you're in a 1v3, maybe don't give the point away. If you're in a 1v4, definitely don't give the point away. Die to the zone, maybe. Just make things a little bit more difficult for your opponents to get to the scoreline that they need. But now that we're heading into our third game, which is surprise, it's our Rondo. Woo! Rondo, finally.
So
let's
happy.
go. That's what I would say. Yeah, obviously I'm very excited, and Blank, I would say not so excited. Not as happy as I am, but it's fine. This is this evens out the broadcast a little bit. We can't all be happy.
Hey, I like Rondo again. I'm kind of curious to see the amount of eliminations that come through that don't really matter. And when teams start, I think the funny thing I heard from John was he said, okay, and now the eliminations will start to stick. And I'm like, that's a weird thing to say in PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah. MVP from that one, Akron, 654 damage. Very, very good conversion rate on that one as well. 6 elims into 654 damage.
Must be very happy with it. Looks like he is the only one from his roster that is going to be up there. He also covered the longest distance, Dakimi. He provided us with some incredible moments. in that last game. Scarface most damage though in the game, and it is Darkin with the highest or most distance score. The highest distance that we've seen from what I can remember, I believe, was 398 in the last week. But I do remember when me and John were talking last week, we saw, I think the record that we've seen is like 420, 430 meters. That's the longest that we've... 402. Yeah. That's what you remember? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 402 is the current record. I don't think there's anything higher than 402 right now.
Okay, so the numbers are right, but just in the wrong order, it seems.
Yeah. I think technically you're correct if we just switch the 2 and the 0 around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's incredible because I think past 400 meters, you don't see the render distance is gone. So you don't actually even see who you eliminate at that point. So a lot of times this happens when your last stray bullets hit a vehicle. And I think this is what happened on the 402. Is the last stray bullets hit a vehicle as they went out of render distance range and the vehicle blew up. And they got the elim credit for that. So it's such a rare scenario to get it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you're not going to have a situation where someone gets an elimination from like 400, 500 meters with a sniper. That rarely ever happens.
You can't see them. You literally can't see them past 400. Yeah, so it's actually impossible. So the only way it works is with a vehicle elim.
Yeah.
It's a little interesting tidbit for you guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, because me and John were talking about it, and we didn't know what the number was or what the situation was, but now that we have you here, thank you very much. We have a clearer picture, a clearer image, and a clear idea as to what happened there and what's going to happen now, which is teams are getting themselves into the lobby slowly but surely. And since it is our third game, I believe... I mean, this seems like a trend where a team that wins a chicken dinner, their group just doesn't play the next game. In our previous one, it was Bruh from Group D. They won game 1. They missed out on game 2. And this time we have Group C that's going to be dipping. So it's Wildcats, IWNRX, Anorthosis Famagusta, Team Falcons, and Besiktas. Those teams will not be participating in the next game. They'll be stepping out, and they'll be missing out on Rondo for today. But don't worry, it is prepared in a way that every single team will be able to play a single Rondo. So it's evened out. They did the math that we could not last week.
Yeah, it's all behind the scenes. It was all sorted out. Fair enough. I mean, I didn't have too much input there, but I'm glad it did get fixed in the end because there was some concerned conversations with you guys being like, someone plays Rondo one game more, then they'll have more chances to get even more eliminations. It's a balance, but yeah, the balance has been retained for PUBG Mobile EU.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be. And just like our favorite moments in PUBG Mobile, let's have a look at the best moments from that last game. I wanted to see SnowX get a full wipeout against Asgard, but it wasn't going to happen. Not at that close range. But I want to say this play here by Ulf pulling up. It was so close for Trumby to get a lot of damage done, actually. He almost took down both.
Yeah.
I think he would have been able to get the revive, too.
I think that, honestly, looking at Aaron there, I think he just show why he has been consistently a name that's brought up in PMSL EU as well. I mean, that initial nade's so good. He's starting to look more and more like he deserves to be on that international stage. I think there was some imperfections with Aaron earlier on this year and the previous year as well, but those are starting to get ironed out left, right, and center. You can see Ida getting themselves up towards 13 points overall, Anathosis up to 15, but all far behind with 11 points. And then this is the first roster change we'll see from Aaron as well, because usually he was on Ida. That's where he made his name. But moving over towards Ulf with some bigger names around him that can help him learn the game a little bit more, or maybe on a more strategic scale. That's important. That's definitely important for a growing player.
Yeah, that it is. I want to say there's times where I see a roster stick together for 2, 3, 4 years, not manage to accomplish much, and they'll still think, okay, no, we're going to stick together, we're going to keep trying. And there are other teams, other players, organizations that just try it out, change things up every single year, just see what works. And I can kind of see the thought process behind both wanting the team to kind of grow together and maybe wanting to find like that perfect composition. Maybe that's what he's looking for heading over to Ulf. But to be honest, they also performed very well in our first stage. And right now, we may not see them, but they did skip out on the first game. That's why. But we finally have a look at the overall ranking, and we'll see exactly where every single one of our 20 teams is ending up. And so far, it's still Bruh with that first game, Chicken Dinner, and the 16 eliminations that they secured. But Anorthos's Famagusta, they come in with second. 11. I like that. 9-point difference, 2 games already. That must feel nice for Bruh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 9-point difference as well, but on top of a whole game difference as well. So they have 1 game on top of BRA. BRA's played 1 match, and anyone playing 2 still hasn't been able to overtake them, which is very, very important. Oscar Esports, Jekko, Boars, and Fenerbahce. 3 zeros and just 1 point for Oscar Esports, which that's rough. I think mostly for Boars Gaming and Fenerbahce, that looks bad. That looks very bad for your team.
Specifically for Boars, 2 games, 0 points. This team has had, I want to say, great progression in getting themselves into good positions time and time again. Whether it was PMCO Eastern Europe or whether it was the first week of competition, their position has always been phenomenal. So I'm surprised that it's been 2 games and they haven't been able to get a single point so far. Yes, 12 maps only. So they have reached their limit of making mistakes so far. So now you have to start getting things in order. You have to start fixing things. You're not going on a break just yet. Your play, I think, when it comes to Boars, let's have a look. They are in Group B. So the next game is when they're going to be stepping out. That means that it could be their chicken dinner, according to the logic of groups, wins, and the schedule of today. It's completely crazy, but it makes sense in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're 2 games in, 0 points, not necessarily over just yet, but you are right. It's bad. Very bad. But you need to start getting big games. I mean, I think once you're hitting like the 3rd or 4th match and you still got 0 points, then you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble then. That's what needs to change. But I have definitely seen like some teams in the past, like some really good teams being on 0 points after the 4th match and then just turning things around. But you're right. That's a big ass sandstorm. That's a big ass to be like, okay, well, now you need to get 20 points every game. And some teams have done it, but rarely, very rarely.
Yeah, and not every team is capable of pulling something off. And of course, the competition gets tougher day by day. You have the best teams in Europe, the best teams in Turkey. They're not going to make things easy for you. They're going to be researching day in, day out, looking at your drops, at your rotations, your plays, seeing exactly how they can counter your every move. So you have to be very, very careful, especially now we're in the knockout stage. These teams have to put their best foot forward. 56 players are currently with us at the moment, so we're just waiting for a couple more moments, and then hopefully we'll be setting off into Rondo, and we'll see exactly how the early action is going to look like. And I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for your reaction as well, Blank, because it's your first Rondo.
It is, yeah. How far is your map feed behind? Because I'm getting into game right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah. It's slow. Yeah, it's loading in now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, the fact is just a glitch in the system right there. But I'm glad we saw it. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, good to know. So that means that the game should be starting very, very shortly. Let's go. We're just waiting on the last player from X team. There's no need to explain.
I thought you had like some additional knowledge or something like that. I was like, where's he getting this info from? Dude, this is crazy. I'm seeing something completely different. But yeah, we're getting into it. We have Rondo with plenty of res beacons around the map. And that is the big one. If it's your first time watching PMSL EU and you didn't watch group stages, we do now have Rondo in the mix, which I think the main big change that there is, other than it being a whole new map, obviously, but there is res beacons on here. So during the early stages of the game, whilst res beacons are still in the circle, you can res your teammates, and trying to see a bit of a meta forming where teams are kind of like hot dropping one another and then leaving one guy on a res beacon and then just slamming that thing once that whole team dies. So you're just trying to get as many eliminations as much as possible. But we're heading straight into it. There's a chance at a double plane path, but not on this map particularly.
Well, actually, no, on this map particularly. Just maybe, yeah,
not on this game. That's what I mean. There is a chance at the double plane path, but not this time.
Do you think it's the same odds as like a double rainbow?
I think it's around 30%. 30%, I think.
Okay.
That's
looks
really
up
hard.
chances of a double rainbow.
I'm sorry. I mean, I feel bad about that because you're like, oh, is it the same chance to double rainbow? I could have been like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Instead of just giving you hard facts. That's cruel. I apologize.
You're fine. Or are you? I'm just saying then.
No, I think that was mean of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll leave the hard facts.
It's pushes glasses up. Well, actually,
well, yeah, it didn't really pull an actually moment. I'm sorry. That was not cool of me.
Oh well, that's not very cool of Jetgo either. That's not how you start. Noisy boys, no, noisy boys suffer. And they're just, oh, actually, wait, no, never mind. It's fine. There's recalls. Don't worry about it. But Noisy Boys are no. Noisy Boys hot dropped someone in Rin Jiang, and I think the person that was eliminated by Jetgo was the person that was supposed to revive them. This is the worst case for them. Meanwhile, S2G finally getting to grips with the map and showing us what they can do. They got that first elimination. They should be able to get the second one. Kalse. Come on, just one more bullet. Do not let him take down your teammate. I know you can get the recall, but looks like the elimination will be secured. And Kalse will be forced to take this 1v1. If anyone pre-fires anyone, it's one bullet. And either player will be done for it. But Icy's here for backup for Kalse as well. Now it's going to be a 2v1. And meanwhile, for Kara, I'm trying to figure out exactly where. It looks like Marso is near center circle, so he's not near his teammate. And a 2v1 goes in favor of S2G. They get themselves the second kill, or elimination rather. And HamCG, once again, the first person to be eliminated in the game for S2G. This is like the third time in a row, by the way. Man's having zero luck.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, he's playing as the front man for the team right now, but yeah, Kara coming straight back into the picture. Oza dropping down. Lation from Xlay decides to play all the way on the north side of the map. Very, very far out of the way over there.
Oh yeah, that's basically their plan. It's send 3 players to hot drop, get as many elims as you can, while one player takes the furthest away beacon, recall beacon, and just plays revive.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt your chances rotational wise. Ball once again struggling. But we do have reses available. So let's just think about the elims that can be brought up here with Ulf already finding 2 on Scarface. Could they just not have called themselves Wolf? Like, is it a silent W, guys? Is that what we're going for?
Maybe? Maybe in Turkish it's pronounced Wolf.
Wolf, yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Well, you know what? I don't know who wins in a fight between a wolf and a boar. In this situation, looks like the wolves. Because they hunt in a pack.
Yeah, that's right. One boar, pretty dangerous. I think most wolves would avoid one boar if they were solo. But in a pack, yeah, you're right. That's how they take them down. Nip from the sides.
Yep.
Evil creatures.
Wolves? Yeah, but they're adorable, no?
Yeah, I actually would agree with you. I think they are adorable. I think if you like dogs in general, I think you'd find wolves adorable. I don't think I'd want to be around a wolf.
Listen, no. I wouldn't want to be around the wolf or a dog. I don't know. I have a bad history.
But you would agree that they're adorable.
Yes, yeah. Listen, I can agree that it's adorable, but I don't have to. Like, I can agree it's adorable from a distance.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be near it, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that. I respect that. That's a good conclusion. We got the EMP zone around Neox factory, but everyone's left. Everyone's gone.
Yeah,
everyone's looking towards the center of the circle right now. Lation hasn't moved an inch. Still playing.
He's still waiting. He's still waiting for it. I mean, I kind of feel sad for the rest of the Xlay squads because they're like, okay, so we go fight. Okay, but we didn't get eliminated. Okay, so we just continue to go fight. Meanwhile, Lation's like, guys, I want to play too.
Isn't that a terrible game plan in your opinion? Like, I find it's a horrible game plan because Xlay's like goal right now is to die. Otherwise, they're playing split. That's what I'm saying. Like, what if no one
Yeah.
fights them? You have ruined a Rondo match.
And I agree with you 100%. If you make a plan to go for an early play, early aggression, then you have to stick to it. You have to go as aggressive as possible. Because right now, Lation is just hung out to dry. No one's around them. No one's close to helping him out. But also, he's far from danger. So at this point, the rest of X-Late just has to force a fight regardless. And they have time up until like stage 3, stage 4. To continue the recall, so it's not really much of an issue. But then you're getting recalled so far outside the zone.
Yeah,
so
it's a lose-lose scenario. In my opinion, it's a lose-lose scenario, right? You either win the fight, in which case Lation's now off in Narnia on the north side of the map, hard to regroup with him, or you lose the fight and you've got no elimination. So what was the point in the first place? Because now you're on the other side of the map, struggling to rotate in. I just find this is a weird idea to me. I can understand like playing off the back of like trying to hot drop Neox factory and then rezzing towards, West Jadena City. But yeah, playing over towards the north side. There's a big fat question mark on it.
Yeah, I can see the question mark.
Yeah.
It's I agree. It's like at this point, do you just torch yourselves and then get recalled all the way up north so you can regroup at least, or not? Well, it looks like, okay, Kalse, I wasn't talking to you to torch yourself. Kalse, what are you... Why?
Yeah, confusing.
Wait, where's... Hold on.
Hold?
I mean, I'm looking towards... Why did he do that? I mean, maybe... I get it. You don't want to give the point away, I guess. And they're able to recall him rather, so it shouldn't be a problem. But the thing is, like, they're in the middle of... They're very split for S2G. There's 2 in 2 Ling, and then there's 2 a little bit more central. Well, 1 now in Icy. I'm not sure what S2G is doing here. I am confused and bamboozled.
There's a lot of question marks appearing on the screen right now.
Yeah, we had a massive one, and now there's a few smaller ones.
Yeah. We're confused, and that's okay. It's Rondo. Typically, Rondo is quite a confusing map to watch, especially from a viewer's side. I mean, we've seen a lot of eliminations, yet still 62 remaining.
Going through the last Rondo on the group stage, it was 20 extra eliminations that were secured in that game. So it was a total of 84 eliminations at the end of the game. But I also remember seeing a couple of people be eliminated to the blue zone, specifically in the end game as well. Guys, same team. What are you doing? So yeah, I think that was the most I've seen. The most amount of eliminations in a game of Rondo, and then obviously, having the team's recall. At the moment, we're looking at what? 8... 12, 14, maybe 15 eliminations, 15 eliminations, something like that. But we have 62 players, so only 2 of the eliminations stuck.
Yeah, 14 right now.
Oh.
But yeah, now more. Now we're looking probably at 16. But overall, it's definitely a weird one where it's hard to keep track of exactly what's going on and what elim counts and what elim doesn't. But in the meantime, most teams moving down towards the south side of the map, down towards Long Garden. Quite a open area, I would say, on the map, honestly. You're coming off from like the south hillsides. Shot playable here on a long road that sits between it. Ulf currently at the EMP zone. Vehicles struggling slightly.
And S2G, I think they revived Kalse, and then IC was no. So they're trading players. No, HamCG, listen. We still have. This is your 3rd game of the day, and we still haven't seen you play. Please.
Yeah, I mean, Hamsy's trying to go for 3rd game of the day and 5th death of the day. It would be impressive. Certainly would be impressive.
Yeah, 5 deaths. Okay, guys, that's my 5 maps, right? No.
Yeah, no.
No.
You gotta keep playing, Hamzy. Come on, man.
He has to keep going. He has to keep powering through. Meanwhile,
ball's in front of us. I think that definitely this team is one that we want to see get at least 1 point on this map. I mean, at least 1 point. I mean, we were talking about saying that it couldn't go goose eggs all day, but we only have 5 matches a day right now, 4 per team. So, again, I think for Boars, it is absolutely a case of they have 2 more chances today. That's a day of just zeros. Like, what are we doing? And this is not a bad team. Snowix, Kivik, Avlik, EXO, all prevalent players in their own right from EU. Have been mashed together, but Havlik's been about like 15 different teams and still managed to work well.
Meanwhile, we finally see Xlay in some kind of action, some kind of fight. They got themselves a couple of limbs, and I think one of them was eliminated. But that's not the point here. The point is Asgard and Boars going it down. Real with that nade, getting the knock. Lazy, a lot of damage on his end, but still not enough to dissuade Asgard from this push. And Boars decide, well, there's only so much we can do. 2 of them are down and 2 are to go. But the rest of Asgard might actually be a little bit too far away. I think that might be why they're hesitant about this fight. EXO finally steps up, and it's a 1v1. It's him versus Real. Who's going to win this fight, though? And our Boars going to be able to stay alive. Here comes that last person, though. It is going to be Snowix coming from the back. But Regnum Carrier sent in one of their players. And looks like Asgard clean up. They take down 2. Kvik is still alive, but Snowix thinking, okay, is there a recall station I can head to? Can I still bring back some of my team? I cannot have another game with 0 points. 3 out of the 12 with nothing. Is crazy for Boars.
Yeah, I mean, Boars, there is a high likelihood now that they end the day with 0 points. He's looking to pick Kivik back up again, but again, hyper unlikely this makes this happen. I think Kivik's just going to bleed out. 1 player remaining, plays on the backside of the building, up on high, but I think Real has a good idea of where he is and already takes a little tag, and players will be running him down back behind the buggy, able to find 1, but that's about it. And that is Boars, like you say, 3 out of the 4, 0 points on the day, laid out on the floor.
That is going to be them also missing out on the next game as them being Group B. So they have 1 more game to go today. And if they end with a big goose egg in the first day of this stage, I don't know what that says about their chances of qualifying. I mean, Blank, we haven't even had a discussion about what's the range, do you think, for when it comes to qualifying? What's going to be the range of qualification for these teams, for these players in this competition? Talking about the previous stage when it was 24 teams participating, it was 48, 49 was the qualification threshold.
It's around 60 to 70 points, basically. I mean, I could be hyper specific and say something like 63 to 68, but usually it's around 60 to 70. I think that if you are hyper specific, it's more towards the middle ranges of the 60s. At a 20 team margin, but it could be wrong on that, considering we now have Rondo in the mix, so that could change. So it might be slightly higher. Either Darkin goes down to Hamzy G, so you just get at least 1 point on the board, so you'll be happy about that one, Sandstorm. He's not down just yet.
And they should be able to bring him back. Oh, Rita, second to fall down. S2G trying to salvage their situation bit by bit.
They've not done badly today, though, right? I think, you know, currently on 20 points total, 5th place on the overalls. I think it has looked bad for S2G, but they haven't necessarily dropped the ball too much, which is surprising, honestly.
It's just Rondo that I'm talking about. I guess in this specific situation, they haven't been able to perform that well on the map, and this is the best that we've seen from them on all 3 rondos. Well, actually, this would be their 3rd rondo because they played 2 days only of the first week. But yeah, I was waiting to see how they're going to perform this time around. Let's see if they manage to even make it to the late game. But we'll get back to that in a few short moments, as right now the focus is going to be Papara Supermassive and Noisy Boy stepping up to the fight. Genzor, okay, jumping into the window and then right into the car. Nice bait there, buddy. And then Papara just enjoy that quick and easy fight as Haiso gets taken out. And they will secure themselves a couple of points, a couple of limbs, and chase that lead one more time.
It's still one res beacon up, by the way. and no one's touching it at the moment. And it is just the south side of Wolf, and they could camp this. I would absolutely be not against them camping it. It's like a good way if you're a team that's been cut back down to size to get back into this. But Ulf is just swarming on top of it. Ulf with 4 players, so yeah, they're literally just going to sit around the res beacon, wait for teams to come that way.
I mean, that would be a very smart play, considering it's the only one, if I'm not mistaken. The other one is Tin Long Garden.
In the blue, yeah.
Yeah, in the blue, that's right. So I don't think it's going to be useful. Silas, I think that's the second knock that we've seen onto the players from Jetco. They have 8 eliminations, so they've been doing well so far. 9, actually, but 2 of their players knocked. That could be the only points that they get here, and that's going to be the 3rd in Ceylon, leaving 1 player left to go for Jetco, and it is going to be Symphony. Unless it, no, it's not. It's actually Merciless.
Yeah, I think for Regnum Kaya, they've been playing a much more slow game here on Rondo. I'm actually okay with it. I think it's fine. I think playing a slower game here on Rondo makes sense for a team like this who's fairly confident in themselves. Jetco, though, like you said, they have found a lot of success off the back of this game. They were on 0 points before this game. We mentioned them as one of the teams that need to step up. They get 9 points on Rondo. Like, damn, that's good. That is good. They're likely going to go out very soon, though.
And that it does seem to look that way. Meanwhile, Storm not expecting a full squad to just rush the building. That leaves Ezel on his own. Who is leading. They got that first chicken dinner of the day. They got those 16 eliminations to their name. But 4FS jump in. Ooh, Ezel sees that nade. Lovely dodge. And he gets back into that fight. It is still a 1v2. There is no current opportunity for a revive. And Ezel decides, okay, this might be time for me to go for it. 20 is still going for... I think he's trying to bring back one of his players. But Ezel responds with a couple of smokes. He sees Kisyu in a position where he might be able to revive him. But no, Lost has vision on that player. And he's trying to see if he can secure it. 20 steps up, goes down. Ezel secures the elimination. And 4FS will lose one of their players, but they still manage to get the eliminations.
So, we're pretty far into the match already, but a lot has happened here during this game. It has been very, very profitable for some teams, not so much for others. Oscar Esports were able to find 2 points here, taking their whopping total of 1 up to 3. Fenerbahce getting quite far into this game, but still on 0 points. But they have 4 players. They're playing from the western side. I think this not a terrible spot to be in. You're really playing over towards the northeast right now. Ulf's the one who is currently camping that ridge side that looks down over towards the fields, but very much a lot of the roadside here is still in play, which is a little bit more difficult. Yabakan being used from Fenerbahce over towards Ulf, finding catch. Solus is able to take down Simple Domak on the knock, but I think that does put Fenerbahce potentially on 1 elim.
Not yet. Not if they can't secure it. Savian is just trying to hold 4FS right now. A lot of damage onto both! But it's actually Akron and Lazy from Asgard that secure both knocks and the limb. Savian steals Mimodel? I believe he does. Yeah, he steals Mimodel. And T, what are you doing? You heard the fight that was going on. You heard the bullets and where they were coming from. Come on, brother. Now the nades coming in. They should be able to secure the elimination onto him, and that they do. And 4FS in 12th place. 7 eliminations, though, so that's a good game for them.
Did it feel like T was almost blindfolded and had earmuffs on in that moment?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. Just running out into danger despite seeing both your teammates getting blown out of the water.
It's like that. I think it was, I don't know if it was a goat or it was a goat, like jumping out of the swimming pool, and then it's like or rather jumps into the swimming pool, they save it, bring it back out, and just jumps right back in. That looked like T for a split second.
X-Late, 8 elims right now. Very, very nice game from them.
And they're full, actually.
Yeah, as a 4-man, it's not bad. So I do find these endings on Rondo... Okay. I do find these endings on Rondo pretty fun because you have quite a lot of players still in them. It does accelerate gameplay a lot because of that. Decent nades. Not quite far enough, though, from Fenerbahce. Savian taking quite a bit of damage.
Quite a bit of damage indeed, and they're still suffering on the side of Fenerbahce. Another nade coming in from Aaron. Little bit being dealt to Simple Domak. Not enough for a knock, not enough for an opportunity for Ulf to push and breach the building. Now they're just hoping and praying that the zone does not destroy their chances of winning this game. Let's see where it decides to shift, and it goes, ooh, it goes over to them actually. It goes over to the west side. So Fenerbahce feeling a sense of relief at the moment. So will Ulf, because they're not forced to move that much. And now Xlay might be in a position to apply a bit of pressure to Lux and the likes of Fenerbahce.
Yeah, the difficulty right now for Ulf is that this is a bit of an awkward. It's an upwards terrain towards Fenerbahce for them. Luckily for them, they control most of this area for themselves. Papara Supermassive trying to move in from that eastern side. You also have one player from the Noisy Boys still up and kicking. Yeah, Fenerbahce controls so much zone, but Xlay is just going to send it. Get this moving in first here. To scout a little bit. Yusuf still behind with the rest of the team, just scouting, watching for him. I'm curious to see how Ulf plays this out, because they have held some really nice ground for a long time, but getting out these trees is going to be difficult.
And that it will be. Let's see if Ulf managed to do it, because they have a vehicle. They should have some utility. Let's have a look. Scarface, one smoke, one molly. Not much utility, but it's better than nothing for this lineup. And they're going to give it a go. Meanwhile, Jet go back to the lobby. Quick.
Yeah, finally finished. I see what you did there. Catch also down here for Ulf.
No! Why are people torching themselves in this? This is the second self-elimination that we've seen in the game.
You're denying points on a map that's already so point rich, so it sort of does make sense. It sort of makes sense. It's got to be done. Not against the rules either.
Nope. It's absolutely crazy though. You have to do it in the last moment possible. Do not give away those points for free, that's for sure.
Loxy as a solo. It's a pretty horrible position to be in. The only thing that's been keeping him out of dodge right now is literally just this ridge side. As soon as he pops up, though, he's popping up into open ground, which is the name of the game here on Rondo. A lot of open area. But again, a lot of foliage too. Fenerbahce taking a little bit of a tickle as they moved out. And honestly, Ulf's done really well to swing over towards this position, but they need to find value out of these opening shots.
That they do, but it looks like Xlay Noir is the one that does exactly that by securing it onto Scarface. Might be the opening that Xlay actually need, and the fact that these guys are on 10, they were on 8 a couple of minutes ago, but they keep securing eliminations, they keep getting themselves points, and I love the rise of Xlay in today's games. Very happy with what I'm seeing from this lineup so far, and I want to see more. But unfortunately, we won't see more of Regnum Carrier in this game, as they stop at 13 points in total and 11th place. Meanwhile, Xlay, they're standing on the roof. They're standing tall, looking and trying to find every single player that's left. But let's see if the zone is going to allow them to keep that position and keep benefiting from it. Ooh, and I think it does.
Just about. I mean, Ulf can still continue playing this. There's 2 players. It's really not looking good. I mean, Aaron and Solar still both incredible players on side. But really, no one else in the lobby is really looking over towards Fenerbahce too much, who I think really are like that hidden threat, to especially a team like Xlay. Good shot from Solus. We'll find Ray Z. Unfortunately, Papara Supermassive have just about finished this crawl. This really tough walk over towards the western side, and now they spring up into action. Now, Aaron, last player alive for Ulf, now to contend with both Fenerbahce and Papara Supermassive, but bearing down on him.
That they are. That they are indeed, but let's have a look at this little push from Xlay. They lose the building, but they inch closer and closer to the likes of Fenerbahce. And look at that, they have a nice little divot for them to play in as well. Look at it. And again, another nade for a bit more cover as well. Love the way that these players are using the destructible environment to their advantage. It's like, oh, there's no ridgeline for us to use, or there's no, oh, no, it's fine. We'll make our own one.
Oh, I mean, that nade came from a different team, but he was just like, thank you. That actually makes my life a lot easier. I appreciate that. But you're right. There's always ways that you can manipulate the ground here, which is why it is so open a lot of times, is that the intention is that you do manipulate the map to your advantage. Good shot there from Simple Domek. That's the Vexlay. Look on in horror at the experiment.
And not happy with losing one of their players, but hey, in the grand scheme of things, you're not in a bad position at the moment. But let's see how far you're able to go. 7 eliminations, domination for Noir. Matt, okay, never mind. Caster Curse just smacked him across the face. The second I finished
him.
I demolished the poor man.
Not that to Yusuf. Again, 11-point game though. Very nice from X-Slay. That takes him to 3rd place in the overalls. Barring the placement points, obviously. Hyper Supermassive still trying to make this work. And Aaron, honestly, still doing a great job here. Has a Molotov, and that might be on target. Oh my god, he's lucky he looks that way just in time. And Lost is just missing. Have that. And then that as well.
Some cover. Yeah, okay. That C4 might be able to do something, but he heard the... I want to say he heard the sound, so he knows to go back a little bit. Trumby able to heal up, and Aaron just going to hold on for dear life over here. As the last member from his team in a 1v2 against Papara Supermassive. Nade jumps out of the divot, actually. Does not take him down. Another nade comes in. This one will. Right there. 6 eliminations. 5th place for Ulf at the moment. But Supermassive are on 8. Oscar are a full squad with 5 eliminations in this game. Fenerbahce with a duo. Now they make it a solo for Supermassive as well. Now it's just Lost on his own.
Yeah, it's a nice game from X-Slay, honestly. And I think Fenerbahce really found their footing in this game. It looked pretty poor beforehand. Aaron, not really much you can do there. And again, he needed like an extra minute to make that work. And he was just hoping that they didn't have utility, because then it pushes in and he can kind of just play a 1v1 on both of them. I think Aaron's quite confident in his mechanical skill. That was some good shots from Yekta. 2 teams remaining. Oscar Esports and X-Slay 3v4.
3v4. Can Oscar overcome the odds, or will X-Slay cement themselves in the grand finals with a chicken dinner here, along with the ridiculous amount of eliminations that they have already secured? Keystone loading up a grenade, but looks like Noir is going to be going for that push. Couple of nades coming in, decent bit of damage back and forth, but it's Keystone who goes down. And it is X-Slay who now even the odds. It is a 3v3 with Keystone being knocked down. But can they get themselves an advantage? And it looks like yes, they can. Great knock onto Poli, and now Yusuf being aggressive, pushing up slowly but surely. Will be able to get the 3rd one, but no, there's a response from Pluto. And now it's Noir versus Pluto. All of a sudden, it's a 1v1. X-Slay versus Oscar, and Pluto's deciding to loot up. Are you kidding me? And Noir is getting in a vehicle. Oh my god.
Orbital strike over towards X-Slay.
Don't you dare go for a revive. You go for this 1v1. You take this fight and you wrap up this game. It's Pluto versus Noir. It's Shotgun versus Submachine Gun. Huge. And it's S12K for the win. And Oscar, get that chicken dinner.
It looks so good for X-Slay as well. And I'm very, very surprised that Oscar Esports were able to do it. I mean, really, really well played to Pluto. Like we said, one small planet, but one heavy hit from that dude indeed. Really, really well done. Impressive game. Fun rondo match. Action from start to finish. It got a little bit messy over towards that early game, though. And you know what? Let's take it back. Maybe X-Slay's play wasn't that bad. Just kind of surprising that Lation was able to regroup. Or did he just like take himself out and they rezzed
No, he drove. He
drove all the way. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
He rotated to be with his team. And look, they were reunited, and it feels all right. It doesn't feel like that good because they didn't get the chicken dinner, but it feels all right. It's okay.
Yeah, it feels like one of the things where like I feel like in an international tournament that would not work, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen it enough yet.
Well, what we have left on the cards for today is 2 more games. Could you imagine that? Blank 4 games. Well, 3 games done for the teams, and now, yeah. Can you believe it? By the way, actually, how was your first rondo? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
The thing is, I kind of like a lot more about the map and the strategic side of things, but that was just like all action all day. It was fun. It was definitely fun. Yeah, for sure. I still think that maybe there's an issue with the res beacons. It's like, it's a little bit much where you get such crowded end zone circles. But it's not that I don't like the res beacons. I think there's too many of them. But when I watched it just then, I was like, that's fun, but there's just too many of them.
I think it's either that there's too many of them, or it's the fact that you have essentially infinite recalls. But you know what we have right now? A quick break. That's right. It's going to be a quick 5-minute break, ladies and gentlemen. Give ourselves a little bit of respite before we jump into the last 2 games of the day. It's going to be another Erangel and another Miramar to wrap up the first day of the knockout stage. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Skibidi Toilet has arrived. New Skibidi Toilet object. Powerful enemies. Thrilling battles. Protect the base. Use WoW's powerful creation tools and build defense towers to your heart's content. Engage in intense battles. Various defense towers. Earn points in battle. Unlock more defense towers. Tons of strategies. Epic battles. Play now.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, as we have 2 games left to go to wrap up the first day of the competition. And so far, it has been a spicy one at that. 3 different teams have managed to claim the 3 different chicken dinners across the 3 different maps. But now we're going to run it back onto Erangel and Miramar to wrap up the day. We've had our first round, though, with Blank. And he does not like it.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. Throw me on the bus there, dude. What the hell? Yeah, I didn't mind it too much. I think it was cool. There was, again, I think maybe just the res beacons need to be reduced in number
a little bit.
Maybe you're right in terms of it's either that, like you say, or you just make it a one-time thing, which also could work quite well. But it was fun though. It's definitely fun to watch. I love the map. It's very cool. But we're heading back over towards the old favorite, which is Erangel, and then finish the day out over on Miramar. We're already getting players into the lobby right now. We're going much faster today, which is nice, really fun. We're in the game, which I like to see. Yeah, so Erangel coming next. I don't think Boars are playing that next one. I don't believe. I think they're taking a break and they'll come back on Miramar. Hopefully they're able to get 1 point at least today. It would be pretty unfortunate if not.
Yeah, a 0 point day would be incredibly bad for that team, especially with the fact that they ended it in second place. Barely, by the way, barely ending up in second place when it comes to the prior stage of the competition. So the fact that they're not getting any points in 3-4 games is insane. But they will have to play that last game of the day, and we'll see if they're going to be able to do something with it. But here we see that final moment of that last game, and of course, exactly what the S12K can do. And it is going to be Noir from Xlay, who is the MVP of that last game. 1,411 damage is crazy. Whoa.
Yeah, that is some criminal work. But again, I think it is influenced by the fact that Rondo, you have multiple opportunities to get that damage done. So there was damage done early on when they were just sending it at teams, and there was damage done late game once they'd regrouped after the res beacons came through. So again, I think we'll have to wait and see like what is an actual crazy number. But for all intents and purposes, right now, 1,411 is pretty damn good. But I expect to see a 2K damage on Rondo at some point in the future.
I think if we're going to see it on any map, it would have to be that one. And it would have to be like one of the players that starts fighting from the very beginning and just does not stop. Just like it, I want to say what we've seen from the likes of Oscar at the beginning of this game, because it looked very difficult for them, having 3 people together and just one person rotating for a while. But when they regrouped, they were able to play together, and they were able to get themselves the chicken dinner along with the 9 eliminations. Slay, 13 eliminations, 19 points in total, equal with our first place from the last game, which is absolutely fantastic for that lineup. But the teams that are, of course, under the microscope at the moment, it is going to be Ida, it is going to be Boars, and the Noisy Boys as well with only 1 point. Bruh, this is their second game result that we're basically seeing, because they missed out on the second game of the day. So they still have 2 more, the next one, and of course the final one. And they did get that chicken dinner, so they're not really feeling that much pressure at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're on 27 points right now after that. So I think they're just fine. But we'll take a look at the overall rankings now. Papara Supermassive with 28, and yeah, bruh, Esports with 27. They get to play the 2 next matches of the day right now. But Papara Supermassive, flying under the radar a little bit, but doing quite well, all things considered. With 3 games, they do have a little bit of advantage over 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, currently playing with only 2. Xlay with 27 off the back of that last match, getting themselves a lot done there. But yeah, Jet Go, despite having those 9 elims, still remain in the danger zone after that last game in 17th. Balls of 0. IW and Extra with 5, but it's Besiktas who dropped down to 7. 4FS able to get towards 10 points, but that's all just elims.
Yeah, all just elims, and you need to find that nice little healthy balance between the eliminations that you get and the placement points. But you know what? As long as you're over the threshold, doesn't matter how you get them, as long as you get there. And it is going to be top 16 out of the 20 teams that are with us at the moment. But we do have all our 64 players currently in the lobby, and they are waiting for it to start. And hopefully we'll see what happens with our 4th game of the day. And yes, it is going to be Group B. So outside of Boars, it is going to be S2G, Ida, and the Noisy Boys. Those are the teams that are going to be missing out on the next game. And they will be there back for that last one. And I think Group A is going to be missing out on the final game. So Papara, Asgard, Kara, and Shockwave. And we'll remind you, of course, before we jump into the final match of the day. And at the moment, we're slowly but surely getting ourselves there. Make sure that you have your shades, because I believe it is Miramar, and it's going to be Erangel for the final day, or for the final game, right?
I think it's Erangel, and then we go into Miramar.
Okay. So I mean, keep your shades on. It's kind of sunny in Erangel too.
I could be wrong. Dude. 100%. But I'm going off instinct more than anything right now. Just with the amount of PUBG Mobile I've watched, but I do think it's Erangel into Miramar.
I trust your instinct, Blank. I trust your instinct.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just waiting to get one last player back in the lobby. Everyone went for a little bit of a short dinner break midway through the day.
I don't know what kind of dinner you had in 5 minutes, brother.
I had some mini cheddars.
Mini cheddars, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Like 2 packs. And I just condensed them all. I had to drink a little water.
I was in like just cheddar cubes, or what are you doing?
Oh, you never heard of mini cheddars?
No, don't think so. Tell me more.
They're tiny, like little circular biscuits, which cheese flavored, I guess.
Okay.
Like small cheese crackers. They're like quite popular. I can't believe you've never had mini cheddars before.
I don't know. Yeah, don't think I have, which is interesting.
Oh
The
yeah,
more you
well
know.
that's got to be on your bucket list. That's got to be on your bucket list. Now you got to.
We're not talking Cheez-Its, right? We're not. That's not what we're talking
No,
about. No, okay.
no.
Okay, I was
in
just,
the bin. They're in the bin.
I was just checking. I was like, you're talking about Cheez-Its? I don't know. We don't have those here.
No, really?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Wait, you're still in Ireland?
Yeah.
There's no way you don't.
Then they have. I mean, to be fair, I don't leave my house, so.
Where's the shopping coming from?
Okay, to be fair, I do go to the shops, but it's just I grab the same stuff kind of like almost every time. It's just all kinds of meats and like chicken, beef, whatever, and they're just, I don't know, chips. It's simple. I'm a simple man.
Nice. I mean, if it works, dude. Yeah, if you don't need to go out your way, you're not an aisle browser. I get it. But overall, anyway, let's zoom back in.
Okay.
On PUBG Mobile.
Zooming back in on the game.
We're a little bit distracted by cheddars, which are not just mini cheese cubes, and your shopping habits, which appears to be just you're a meatitarian, apparently. But yeah, I think overall today has been pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some kind of big surprises. I think Boars, Kara, both kind of doing not amazing is a bit weird. I think Papara Supermassive is the only consistent team from groups into knockouts right now, which I didn't expect. Fenerbahce, despite having a great day one, they've only just got some damage done on the leaderboard right now. I think they have 5 placement points and 5 elims. Here's our top 4 snipers. 382 from Icy. We're not quite reaching the high limits just yet, but Scarface obviously has to be on there. Sandstorm, he is the long-range specialist. Been known as that for such a long time.
Yeah, that we do, and it seems Icy said that's that longest one. Not by much. Darken's right behind him, but I'm curious to see someone break that and maybe go for a little bit higher. I want to see a nice little 400-meter snipe. Obviously, yeah, like you mentioned, it's not one of those that are easy to come by. They're the ones that require getting that last shot and then waiting for the vehicle to explode, get the elimination that way. But I mean, hey, we got clarification. We know exactly how to get that.
They're definitely rare. They're definitely very, very rare. I think we're just having one team struggling to get into the lobby right now. So we're 62 out of 64. But we'll update you when you get back to that. In the meantime, we might look at some graphics, top elims, etc. But yeah, it's definitely been a fun day. I wish I could rewind. Have a look at it. Actually, let's do this.
What you got?
I'm gonna request the overalls.
All right. Yeah, I want to have a look at the overalls again, just to kind of get an idea, because we have, our first place team, which is Papara Supermassive, but they've 3 matches already. I want to see if we can have a look at the overalls for the other teams that have also finished 3 matches. So that would have to be Asgard, Kara, and Shockwave. Asgard have been pretty decent so far. Kara, we've seen them in a couple of fights, and then Shockwave. We've seen them in game number 1 on Erangel, and then it's kind of been quiet for that team. But we've been told that the game should be starting very, very soon, so we'll see how this next game goes.
So we'll chill. We'll chill in the meantime. We'll vibe out. Hope you guys' day's going very well so far, wherever you're watching from. But at the moment, we're having a good day. Me and Sandstorm, it's been good so far. We're switching things up a little bit. I think it'll be me and John doing the finals.
Yes, sir.
In a week's time.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. If I've got my calendar straight, which I hope I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we're getting to match right now, and we get to see exactly which game it is. See if I was right. See if instinct steered me true. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if it was Erangel or if it was... I mean, we can just go back and look at the lobby. No, it's Erangel. You're right.
Yep. There we go. Perfect.
I wasn't. I have no patience. I was like, no. I'll just. I'm not waiting for it to load. I need to know now.
Yeah, no. It's
no.
Oh.
No. I jinxed it.
You really did.
I really
now
did.
We're going to Miramar because of you.
Yeah,
you did this.
Dude, that was quick though. Okay, that was a quick airing, girls.
That was a quick airing. No one got any points.
No, me and you did.
How many would you say?
I think 32 for you, 32 for me. That's how this works.
Yeah.
So now we're in the lead.
We are easily in the lead. Well, one of us is going to get more placement points though. Let me do. Let me flip an online coin.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Heads or tails?
Tails.
It's heads. Unfortunately for you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Looks like I'm at 42 points. You're at 36.
Wow. Okay. That's a massive difference.
No, you're a 38. You're a 38. You're a 38. So
that's not enough to
every time we
qualify.
have a remake. We'll do that every time we get a remake. We'll see who wins.
Okay.
At the end of these 3 days.
Okay. But if we remake a rondo, someone has to get like +5 points.
Yeah. We'll flip the coin twice. We'll be like, flip the coin for who won, flip the coin who got the res beacon elims.
We got to make it fair. We got to make it fair.
We do. No, you're not wrong. Okay, I like it. You're a man of balance.
Of course,
yes.
Everything has to be perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Yeah. Let me just have a quick look at. Oh, the lobby's not even started.
Okay. So can we now get the overall ranking then?
Yeah. Let me just. Can we get this now? Because that would be good. I'm trying not to be demanding. Just like it's a request. It's a request.
So it's a simple request, and I think it's perfectly fine. We'll get that overall ranking, and we talked about Jetco a little bit, and you mentioned how many points they got. They were in Group E.
11?
Yeah, so they lost out on that first game, but we have our overall. Let's have a look at it. Let's go. As usual,
So I was just thanking production this time. Hey, you gotta be nice, man. You gotta be nice, man. So BRA 27 points. So let's take a look at some of the teams we didn't get quite chance to talk about too much. And one of those teams is definitely Anathosis Famagusta. Not unknown players on that team, Sandstorm, but definitely players that have like not really found a home. They've come together to form this team. They're currently on 17 points, which is not bad whatsoever. But I'm more curious about Asgard. I mean, you guys were dialed in with them last week, and curious on your thoughts on that team.
Asgard were pretty good. Let me see if I can actually bring up their ranking from the last stage as well, just to kind of remind everyone overall. So when it came to the group stage, Asgard was able to get 7th place in total. That was only on day 3. We want the whole thing. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Asgard. Where did they disappear to? Hold on. There we go. They were 10th. Okay. So they had 40 points on day 1. They had 36 points on day numero dos. So it seems that their performance was consistent over the 2 days. And I believe they were also able to get themselves a chicken dinner throughout the first stage. Nothing too scary from the roster, but also they haven't been exceptionally quiet either. They're kind of middle of the pack kind of team. But you can't be just a middle of the pack kind of team. You got to perform a little bit more if you're talking about, hey, I want to make top 3 and make it to PMGC.
Yeah. I think that when I look at the overall rankings from the group stage, it is an interesting one, especially looking at you play 15th place at Fenerbahce. There are some weird teams that are kind of low down on the tables. And the same thing with group stages where, you had Team Falcons in 14th, you had S2G in 19th. And then you had up the tables, you had Balls Gaming, Paparazzi Supermassive in 2nd and 1st. It's just a strange one. But other than that, I would say from 3rd, maybe down to like 7th, that makes sense to me. And that's BWNX Ruya, ERA, Ulf, Regnankaya, Fenerbahce, and then we go down to Anathosis. And I think that those 5 teams that I just mentioned, those made sense to be like in the top 10. But yeah, we were just having some surprise picks and have some strong performances back to back. Fenerbahce definitely struggled a little bit more. And it does somewhat make sense because they are the team with the lowest performing average on their second day of play, which was 20 points only. Every other team was able to surpass that on one of their other days. And it's purely because of that 63-point day 1 really shot them up the rankings. I think that for Fenerbahce, it does sort of make sense why they're struggling a little bit right now. And it might have potentially just been quite a fortuitous day one for them.
Yeah, day one was incredible for Fenerbahce. Started, I would think they believe they got the first chicken dinner of the day. Yeah, they started off very, very strong in the survival stage and continued, I would say, with a very, very consistent performance. It was maybe averaging 9, 10 every single game. Then coming into day two, not the strongest performances. I think they kind of just thought, okay, we made it. The focus isn't really the prize pool. We don't want to reveal maybe too many of our strategies in this situation since we already made it to the next stage. And again, the goal being top 3. Let's leave our best plays, our best rotations maybe for that final day of the, or maybe for the grand finals at least. That would be the thought process. I'm curious to see if that's how it's going to work out for the team, though.
Yeah, again, I think that it's fine to hide strats, but a lot of times, like, it's not too much that could be hidden anymore, really, other than outside of hot drops, etc., and then additional rotational paths. But it's a tough one. And I think that most hidden strats are now just like, where's your secondary drop spot? How are you going to pull that one off? But then those hidden strats really require you to know exactly which teams you're playing against. So they more come into the fold around finals, like you're saying. We do have a lobby. For how long? I don't want to tell you because I don't want to jinx it. But I can tell you.
So are you getting me to say the words? Are you getting me to try and jinx it again? Is that the play here?
No, of course not. Why would I do that? That would be so mean of me.
It would be very rude.
Go on, say the thing.
Oh my God, guys, we have 62 players in the lobby. We're almost so close to starting. Oh my God. But it's fine. It's fine. We heard the magical words.
Oh, it's real. It was real.
So it looks like we had a little bit of a lag, but it's fine. And once again, we have a very southern plane path heading into our last Erangel of the day. Match number 4 for PMSL EU. Knockout stage, day numero 1. I mean, it's starting off in the southern, I would say like southern half, but at least it goes up, heading towards the likes of Hospital and South George.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I was going to say it's not super southern. I think this is quite a fair plane path actually. But you caught it.
We salvaged it in the end there.
Yeah, you did well. All right, I like it. Yeah, it's leaning down towards the south of Millpower, but I think most ones which you really don't want to look at are the ones that head down towards the water and cross over the water, sort of forcing you to play around yellows very peer, where the vehicle spawns aren't too nice. With this one, you can get pretty much any vehicle spawn you want. You might want to look over towards Garage, down towards the southeast side of Rozhok, where 2 teams might clash, but I think after 3 days of play, most teams will have figured out where they don't want to drop and which teams might cause them problems in the future. We head down towards the south side with 2 teams basically the same color as one another in BRA as well as Kara. So just watch out for that. I think that actually is just the same color.
Exactly the same, and it's very, very close to Shockwave, but I'm happy that Shockwave dropped somewhere else. But yes, it does look like just one massive squad playing together in
the
Milta and
team.
Farm.
Yeah.
8-man PUBG. Yo, Swain, calm down. Swain's it's wasting shells.
I mean, you got to blast your way out of the basement. I understand it.
Just open the door.
Did you ever watch Robot Wars?
Robot Wars, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, they brought out like the shredder, right? Maybe we could have that in PUBG Mobile. It's just an 8-man team, right? It's like the PUBG Mobile team.
Yeah, you just have like, okay, hold on. A PUBG Mobile super team, right? And it would be like a team of global stars.
Yeah.
So 8 players. Listen, let's build that team. We got some time. It's very chill, and I'm looking at the minimap. No one's close enough to each other that they would cause a problem, except maybe Regnum Carrier and Ulf in Rozhok School. Outside of that, we got time. So 8 players, 8 of the best fraggers. So maybe like 7 fraggers and 1 IGL. Who would you pick?
I think I go Forest.
Okay.
I'd go Revo.
Okay, good choice.
Zed Wolf.
Nice.
I think I gotta go raise E just for historical impact. So we got 4. Right?
Okay.
4 so far. Who else would I go for? I think I'd whack Aaron in there. I mean, he's not an international powerhouse, but I like the guy. I've got my hopes up high for him. That's 5. Who else would we throw in there? I remember different Rosemary. Yeah, we've got to get Rosemary in from Indonesia. Order from Nova.
I was wondering when you're going to bring the PEL players.
Yeah, and then we got to get Silas as the IGL. Easy.
Okay.
That's 8. There we go. Done. So you would have that team. And then that would actually be hella fun. I mean, PUBG Mobile team, if you're listening, that would be a good game mode to do, like as a show match. Like
100%.
8-man squad versus like the rest of a lobby.
Yeah, but listen.
You can overcome.
Listen, it's like they're forced in a warehouse and they can't leave up until like X amount of time has passed to give the teams an opportunity to loot up, right? But when these players spawn, they have like level 3 helmet, level 3 bag. They got like weapons with all the attachments they want. Like they got basically like custom classes ready for them, and the players have to run around and loot up, and then they have to and then they just start rampaging around the map. It would be crazy.
Yeah, that would actually be sick. We got to workshop that in the future, make it happen.
Now my team's would be very, very different. If I'm thinking like historical performances, the first name is like I have to bring Paraboy in. I know he's been out of the scene for a couple of years. Yeah, I know. That's why I said historical. Okay, you're talking about a 2-time world champion. Come on. So I think you picked Order. I believe Order is also a 2-time champion.
Yeah, but he's actually still good. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Fair. You know what? Listen. I'm still sticking with Paraboy. You know, I'm taking Paraboy. I'll take.
You got the good looks.
Yeah, I'll take Sook as well.
Mr. Bo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Listen. This is gonna be a fragging team, and it's gonna be like what's it called? I'm trying to. A stylish team as well. It's gonna be very stylish. Okay. Like it's gonna be, they're gonna be dressed to the nines. Like Paraboy is gonna hook them up, and then they're all gonna be rocking bows because Sook is gonna be leading them on that front.
With the ranges, it was like pull back, fire.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
longbows.
That'd be kind of crazy. Listen, I'm just saying, Tencent, PUBG Mobile, we're kind of cooking right now. We're kind of cooking.
Oh, we are. That would also be fun. Like you have 8-man squad all with bows, just like infinite ammo.
Yeah.
Assaulting buildings.
Oh my god.
You like look up to the sky. Like the Willem Dafoe meme, seeing like 18 arrows descending upon your building.
Oh, that would be crazy. Okay, now I really want to make it happen somehow. All right, hold on.
That would stress me out.
All right,
that would real stress me out.
I'm trying to think since the players. Okay. Let's actually get back to this this game real quick, just to give you guys a state of the game before we continue with our tangents.
Coming thick and fast.
Yeah, having a look.
I think
it's. I mean, floor is yours.
Okay, sure. I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at that right now, most teams are pretty chilled out. I think the main action is going to happen around Shelter. You got a lot of area around Shelter right now that is open, but it is a struggle because we do have like a lot of military base and Sosnov still in play. And that would indicate the circle's coming south. I don't think that would be a Sosnovka finish, but it means that a lot of teams need to get set up around Shelter soon because it's one of the areas of the map where there is actually very little cover to work with.
You know, a shift toward, imagine if it shifts all the way towards like military base and Novo, then everyone is going to be rotating on that bridge. Yeah. Everyone's going to be scrambling for a boat and just anything.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's so unlikely to happen that if it did happen, it would be catastrophic for a lot of squads because they would never think to go down that way.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I want to say Anorthosis from Augusta, first thought would be, cap the bridge!
Yeah.
So, and the thing is,
absolutely,
because there's so many teams already on the eastern bridge, they would still camp the western one, and teams will be heading over there too.
Yeah, to get towards the south side of the island as well, to wrap round towards Novorapnoye. definitely an important thing to do and get done if that's the case. But we'll wait and see because we're almost in stage 2 right now already. And things can definitely change from that point onwards. Fenerbahce's got one player still in Lipovka. He's just chilling around the boat. Actually, he's probably one of the only players prepared for this if he's chilling around the boat. Ready to make the swing on the eastern side around Mill to Power.
Never mind.
But there's our shift over towards Shelter. And again, it's fine. It's sort of what I set up. But yeah, I mean, this was sort of the area where I expected it to end up on the map. But it's not a fun area of the map at all. I actually don't really like playing this area at all. You know, a lot of times it's quite luck based, whether it's your part of Shelter that gets crashed upon, whether there's a team up on a high ground that can see you from afar, because you're having to cut off angles all the time. You need a lot of smokes in this area. You're going to have to use a lot early, which means that the expenditure is going to be feeling pretty rough towards the end game, where you actually need smokes again to get the smoke crossings or even just isolate sight lines so you can win those end game engagements. It's just rough all around, Sandstorm.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult for the teams to deal with. And I'm worried about the teams, like you said, who are going to be held up in Shelter. But we'll find out if the game is going to favor them or not. Or maybe, you know what, the game decides, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. And to be honest with you, we have had, I would say, like, it's a good thing for you then that you weren't here for the first week, just because we've played here so many times in Erangel. So many zones have started off in exactly this location. It would be Yasnaya, Rozog School, Pochinki, Mansion, Prison, Shelter, and Farm. All those would be in the first, second, and then the third zones. And it just did not end up being a good time for quite a lot of the teams because of also the way that the zone or the way that the plane started off at the beginning of the game. It was just not helpful.
Yeah, it's funny because it's annoying because technically Shelter is one of the best spots here for teams, but they're also some of the most uncomfortable spots in the early game to hold on to. So it's really hard. It's very, very hard. You want to play Shelter at the same time you really don't want to play Shelter, which is why you actually see a lot of teams specializing playing around Prison and on the high grounds in that area. You can definitely find success from it. It's not like got the same payout as maybe a Shelter spot has, but some teams just get so good at it because they're sick of playing Shelter. It's so funny to me.
I mean, it is understandable because it's too many different angles, I want to say too big of a space for you to cover every single time.
Yeah, you can't. You're right. You absolutely can't hold all those angles, and you just have to accept that you're going to be playing without information on some of the other Shelter points. You also have to expend... Dude, this is the worst part. So most of the time, you have to get rid of your vehicle just to hold the stairs. So what do you do once you need to move? Then it gets really rough.
Yeah, and then sometimes people can just use vehicles, destroy them in the tunnels, and then, hey, you can't get out of Shelter anymore. Simple as, you just be stuck. And there's nothing you can do, and the game is just over for you. This game has been a slugfest. It's been almost 12 minutes, and we are yet to see a single knock. This is the longest we've gotten without an elimination, or a knock, or anything really.
It's an unbelievably
I haven't even seen dust bunnies walk around yet.
There's so much going on. Like, these guys walking down the stairs. Well, now he's walking over the buggy. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about taking a shot. And now he's going back in the house.
Are you in his head? How do you know what he's thinking?
It's crazy.
Well,
yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a slow match, to say the least. Real snail's pace on this one compared to Rondo, which we just watched. Right now, Paparazzi Massive have a pretty nice position towards the center of the map. Don't mind that at all. With Fenerbahce off towards the eastern side, just on the precipice of the forest.
Meanwhile, I am looking towards that minimap to see if there's any teams. I mean, the teams are close enough to each other that we should be seeing some fighting, but I don't think anyone's close enough to go for a push or crazy enough to go for a push since the lobby's still there. 13 minutes already. We're going for a record on how long it takes to get a single elimination in this game. And I'm surprised it's happening on Erangel and not Miramar, to be honest with you.
Yeah, when you're playing this sort of position on the map, you are having... whoa, there we go. There's the first one. And Aaron's down as well, so... coming thick and fast, actually. 3 players down almost immediately for Ulf while finding first blood on that one. And I do believe that Ulf might just be completely wiped out very, very quickly, with Jetgo also getting themselves involved.
It seems like a lot of players and a lot of teams want to get involved now. Took some time, but only took 13 minutes for us to get our first couple of eliminations. An exciting game awaits us. Good Lord. 14 minutes and our first team is out. Question is, how chaotic is this next circle going to be?
Very. Yeah, because we have so many teams here. Like, there's absolutely going to be areas where there is nowhere to stay. Like, there's no more room in the hotel of Erangel. So I think that you are going to have a case, like you say, where it's just going to get wacky. Teams are going to be crashing one another left, right, and center. Jetgo finding some more shots over towards Asgard as Lazy attempts to drag himself into the zone. Bold there, actually. Sticking that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're actually... Okay, come on, Akron. You have to take this fight, unless you can't. Nope, bye-bye.
Ooh, okay.
Thank you for joining us.
This with the 3-piece.
I have to say, this is the cleanest so far. 2 squads wiped, and it's just them. And just now ruined by Besiktas. Because they also lose one of their players, and they are stuck on 7 points in 18th place. And I do want to look at Besiktas and the games that they've played so far. They were in group... Hold on. There we go. Besiktas... They're Group C, so this is their 3rd game, and they're on 7 points. One of the teams that's currently in danger, that's for sure.
We move back up towards that northern side, the area that no one really wants to play. Yeah, for Besiktas, it's been a bad day so far as well. Sandstorm would definitely agree with that. 7 points is not easy. Well, they need to swiftly start getting on with it. They want to have a chance to get over towards the top 16, see themselves in those finals. Impressive, massive.
Oh my god, how many nades?
Yeah, trying to help his teammate. It looks like he's trying to nade his own teammate. He's not. He's trying to get Kamikaze out of there.
Try as you must. It's not going to be an easy one. And here Falconist tries to set his sights on 3 members of Jetgo. They lost Boren. Okay, perfect. Falconist alleviates some of this pressure by getting a knock. We'll throw... Okay, do not throw a nade there, but a couple of nades do come their way. A headshot with that S12K. And he bites the dust, and it's all down to Rookie now from Besiktas. It looks like he will be somewhere in the shelter down below. And he's got to be on his own as well. Besiktas continuing to struggle from the first stage of the competition and into the second one. They didn't have the best of times. They made it here. But does it end for them here is the question. Or can they continue?
Oscar Esports across the way. Get a little bit of fire from Fenerbahce. You want to clear them out from this position, especially over towards Lumberyard. I mean, they're getting a little bit too close for comfort right now. This is the main benefit of Lumberyard, is you do have these long sight lines to deal with players that get towards you too early. Already we're starting to see a lot of smoke usage get involved here. Razy further down the hill, scouting out an additional position to play in. But yeah, we're still definitely around shelter right now, and eventually Fenerbahce might need to be pulled off from this southeastern position. It may hovercraft in play from the Falcons.
Falcons looking to make up for the last game that we saw them in, which was that Miramar, and I don't think we need to go over that again, do we?
No.
No. Fair.
I don't want to think about it, personally.
All right, you know what? I'll give you something else to think about. The next zone. It's coming in 10 seconds. But before that, a fight between Oscar and 4FS. 4FS are the ones that seem to be pulling the trigger and engaging in the fight. But it still hasn't really kicked off between them. Oscar are pretty spread out at the moment.
The stage 5. I remember when John used to call this the Thanos circle, because it really was like Thanos would snap his fingers and half the circle, half the lobby would disappear. Doubly so here as well, because there's so many players remaining. 14 teams, 52 players still in the match here around Shelter. That is a gargantuan amount of bodies in a small area.
It really is, and they are going to start dropping like flies with the amount of players that we still have. It's absolutely crazy, and you know what? The zone, it does not have any mercy for these players as it shifts and it starts moving as well, and that means all the players have to be on the move. And we move to Shockwave and Jetgo. Symphony opens it up with a quick knock. But just how quick is it going to be? Freedom with a response. Elimination feed is lighting up us now. Multiple teams are jumping down each other's throats, but it's Jetgo versus... Good Lord, Shockwave, what can they do? They are forced to go back into the shelter, and if you remember, the shelter was not free, it was occupied, but that last player will be taken down from Xlay. The fight still continues between Jetgo and Shockwave in and out of the shelter. They haven't decided where this fight's going to go or where it's going to be or how it's going to end, because they haven't decided to push. They're reviving and resetting, and we're jumping all over the place.
Love the Freedom just looking over towards his buddy Ceylon, who just gets exploded out of existence off towards his right-hand side. But yeah, Jetgo has been pretty ferocious in these lobbies so far, even on Rondo, getting a ton of Elim points, and that hasn't changed here over Narengal, up to 8 right now. Swings round to the side, looking for a little bit more. Fantastic shot from Simple Domak as well on the rotate. Lovely stuff. And Fenerbahce still is 4 playing this game very calmly on the southeast side. Very strategically as BRA attempts to make their way up into the forest. They'll have to contend with the Falcons.
That they do. And they're starting to take them down and clip their wings one by one. One is knocked. Rauf will be the second to follow with that DBS. Unrelenting from KissU and Bra Esports. Now you push up. You can spray all you want, Redox. He's going to wait for you to reload and then maybe come out of that and go for the fight. Nope! Baits you with Ezel. That was funny. That was kind of funny. Just reverses, shotgun, moves back in. That was too funny. Falcons bite the dust. 14th with 14 points. Regnum Carrier trying to revive themselves. Jetgo, who have had 2 games with ridiculous eliminations. Last game with 9, this one with 10. Where was this team?
Yeah, they're absolutely pushing to the limit. I think they're happy just to be that aggressive team in the lobby, just causing problems for everyone else. Jumping out, actually just hitting the donuts, honestly, right now, but they are definitely hitting some bullseyes inside this lobby. As Regnum Kaya looks to themselves over the cliff, MG3 in the hands of Zed Wolf is a terrifying prospect. And that's 8 elims right now for Regnum Kaya, looking very, very strong indeed, up to 4th place on the overalls with 8 eliminations this match.
Oh, they are getting more. They are on the hunt for so many more eliminations now as they set their sights onto Supermassive, but then they coming in close to Silas. Not close enough to cause any danger. 2 players from Papara Supermassive are trying to take the high ground though. Silas pushes up and he gets exposed. First one down. Z-Wolf to follow. Supermassive push their advantage. It's a 4v1 now, and Loxy's forced to take the fight and he goes down. And it is going to be
so
Papara.
Close as well.
That was crazy. And look at that. Papara is still in first place. 9 eliminations. Full squad. 37. This team took the lead in the first stage of the competition, and they are taking control of the second one here with the amount of points that they have secured so far. Sensational from Papara Supermassive.
They're not letting up at all, right? They're not taking the foot off the gas, which is nice to see. Again, one of the few consistent scenes we're seeing between the group stages into the knockout stages, which is a very, very promising sign from a squad. We're down to 6 teams, 18 players, and damn, that got cut short really quick. BRA is still up, looking to make a splash as they come back in for another match after their only 1 Elim game earlier today in match 2 before Rondo.
And Rondo was spicy. But we are back to normality with this one. But honestly, nothing's normal about Jetco's performance. The fact that they have been able to get 9 eliminations in the 10, it's crazy. It's absolutely... And I don't think they're going to be in the bottom of the leaderboard anymore, but still only going for elims and not being able to get placement points. I think they only got 1 because they managed to get 8th place in this game. So, okay, finally getting 1, but it's more thinking about a chicken dinner or a second or a 3rd place finish kind of thing.
1 placement to 20 elims. It looks wibbly. Let's put it that way.
That it does.
We're back on board with BRA, who are down to just 2 players. Kissu, I don't know how able they are to get him back up again. A little gift box delivered over towards Papara Supermassive, who currently have control over 2 there. It's a bit of a cruel boon to be giving over towards that team, who are already having a fantastic time here, already on 9 elims on the match with 4 players still alive. They've got a good setup as well. Currently trying to control as much of the western region as possible, but Lewis does find loss, which is a good start and not really possible to pick it back up again. There's immediate response, but a nade goes far. That one goes short. Who the hell is throwing these?
Might be a 3rd party throwing these kind of nades, but we'll find out in a moment. 6 squads fighting it out. Papara Supermassive and 4FS are the ones with the advantage, being a full squad. But we know exactly what 1 or 2 players can do in those last few moments of the game. You can't really cover every single corner, even if you're a full squad, and there will always be surprises in the end game. This is the point we are getting to in this one. 25 minutes, around 5 minutes left in this one.
Nico has full control over the center of the circle. Both loot crates have been looted up. Papara Supermassive just have a really clear-cut control here. They also have good knowledge of where Kara's playing from. Down the south side, so they can lock in over there. I think they're a little bit worried about 4FS, but right now they do have a player on the northern side who can provide that information back across for them. Fenerbahce is going to try and hold onto this wizard tower as long as humanly possible.
That he will. And Ezel from Bruh picks up 1, but it's a trade for the player that they lost as well. They have 6 eliminations, making up for that last game, but you started off with a chicken dinner. You have nothing to make up for. You just keep up the good work, and you keep up the good performances that you've been putting up here so far. Kara versus Bruh versus Fenerbahce versus the world. The nades finally come in and seal the deal on Kara. We have our final 5. Supermassive and Bruh, the race for first continues. Oscar, who have made it with 1 player and 0 elims so far, the only team with 0 eliminations in these top 5 teams. Fenerbahce and 4FS. Looks like 4FS T gets knocked, gets taken out somehow. Kamikaze gets that elimination, and that's the 11th one for Supermassive, with the potential to get quite a lot more in this endgame.
I mean, you did see Kamikaze try and come down to bolster the ranks on the south side, which felt important, but immediately back over towards that north side in a lovely pick over towards T, which is going to definitely slow the guys down from 4FS. Papara Supermassive have really been struggling with Tron as well as Lost. So frustrating for them because every time they peek up to try and take shots over towards the team over there, they keep finding there's another team involved. First, it was BRA who took shots from the backline over towards Lost. This time, it's Fenerbahce taking shots over towards Tron as they turn tail and run. I think that's a completely fair thing to go for here, considering they're assuming that Fenerbahce and BRA are going to have to fight against one another first as they continue to make the circle more and more claustrophobic. But we get a second shift on this one, stage 8 before the final circle descends, and it's directly on top of Papara Supermassive. This could be a massive game, closing in on a point scoring that might just lock them in for the finals.
From day one. That's exactly what they are setting their sights on. We did talk very briefly about a threshold and what it could look like when it comes to qualification for 16 teams out of the top 20. Looked at something around the likes of 60 or 70. Well, we'll get a clearer idea of that on our second day of competition, because right now Papara Supermassive are looking to get themselves in the grand finals already. 13 eliminations. There's about 6 players left between them and this chicken dinner. If they can get all of them, that would put them on 20, which would just be crazy. For the first day of the competition, Pluto takes down Savian, and he goes down to Nico. One elimination was stolen away from Papara Supermassive, but they claimed that next one. And now it's a 4v3v1 with Oscar and their last player still alive. But for how long?
What about you with looks? Then nades down towards 4FS. I think for Papara Supermassive, this is no longer fluke, right? This is just some really good gameplay from them. Some very clean shots they're hitting too. I think potentially over in the group stages, you could have said like, well, they got lucky, or that they were playing out their minds on some of those days and they were just feeling it. But here, being able to do this multiple times and even starting out really strong on day 1 of knockouts is incredible to see. Supermassive. Lost takes down Lost from 4FS. So the poser is down.
Which one was the imposter, though? That's my question. Which one was not the real one? That's what I want to know, but we'll find out in a few short moments because only one of these teams can win. And it almost ended up being that solo at the end, but it was still Papara Supermassive. Second chicken dinner. They got themselves the first one, and then they get themselves the fourth one. They came back. They got themselves the double. They have one more game left to go. Actually, wait, do they have one more game? No, they're done. Papara Supermassive are in Group A, so they got themselves a chicken dinner in their first game and in their last game of the day. That's a heck of a way to start off the first day of this survival stage for them.
They got real far into Rondo as well, which was very impressive and good to see. So, very, very happy to see what Papara Supermassive is able to do. I'm looking forward to their play tomorrow. But right now, like you said, that is their final game of the day. But that puts them at, I think it's around about 50-some points total, which is lovely. Really, really what you want to see here from Papara Supermassive. Almost certainly keeps you safe if you can play even to 20% of the level that you did today. So it doesn't really matter too much. But we'll be getting into our next game pretty shortly, I imagine, over on Miramar. But overall, it's been a very fun day, and it's nice to see that some teams are definitely making their mark here. But it is, again, all over the place. Barring Papara Supermassive, I will say it's definitely all over the place.
Yeah, it was a little bit all over. But you know what? This game ended in the crazy fashion that we kind of expected it to, I think, just because of how many players and teams survived. I mean, again, reminder, ladies and gentlemen, in this last game, our first knock came in at 13 minutes. Our first team being eliminated was 13 minutes and a half. And then our second was shortly after that. Just so many players were able to survive until the next zone, and the one after that, it just got so crazy. They were all over the place. Nades, smokes, hitting 2, 3, 4 squads at the same time. Crazy. But this is what we love to see in PUBG Mobile. And this is why it's called the survival stage. You have to survive all this craziness to make it into the grand finals. Just have a nice little look, and then we figure out who the MVP was. Lost with 9. Wow. That's the highest eliminations.
That's crazy. I mean, he was like on the front lines a lot and also knocked a lot. I think Tron was somewhat like the hidden savior that match, constantly coming to his rescue and getting him out some precarious scenarios. But 9 elims is very, very impressive. And he even took down Lost himself from the enemy team, which is a little bit funny. But yeah, we're looking at the match statistics here. Kamikaze with 1100 damage, able to get that one done. That is lost all over everywhere else.
Lost everywhere. We like it though. We got lost in that game. We got lost in this screen. We got lost everywhere. But you know what? One thing we're not lost about. Our next game is the last one. That's right. We have neared the end of our first day of competition for the knockout stage, and it has been an absolute crazy day. Getting a lot of eliminations from that first day with Lost securing 9. We're getting crazy matches where teams are surviving and no one's eliminating each other for like almost a quarter of an hour on Erangel. So far, this PMSL has been delivering with the craziness. And look at that. 2 players with over 1,000 damage. And the fact that Kamikaze has more damage than Lost, who has 9 limbs, is absolutely ridiculous. How many knocks were taken away? How many eliminations were stolen from Kamikaze is what I want to know. Because that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, Kamikaze was doing a fair share of the work there, and they just sort of were able to steal a couple of them away from him. But I mean, to be honest with you, you get your boy lost up to 9 elims. That looks really nice. And yeah, you're right. 2 players with over 1,000 damage is very much unheard of a lot of the time. A lot of times you're looking at one player with just 1,000 damage, and that's very impressive to see. But yeah, getting 2 players above that, it's about almost a 3k damage game. That's very, very rare to see that. So very well done to Paparazzi Supermassive. I hope they can keep this up because I have been very impressed so far. Like a crazy, crazy result. And again, they're their only team that I'm really looking at right now who are looking consistent enough to go through the finals and actually secure themselves a PMGC spot.
I mean, it would be extremely unfortunate if a team like Papara Supermassive, who have been consistently one of the best teams that we've seen here so far at PMSL, you know, taking first place in the league stage, starting off the knockout stage with a fantastic performance, 2 chicken dinners in their first day, over 60 points. So in the 4 games that they've played, they're or over 50 points rather. So they're averaging 12 plus points with every game that they are actually playing, which is insane for that roster. I definitely would want to see what they're able to do on the international stage when it comes to PMGC. And if they can just make straight up from the gauntlet, make it into the grand finals, that would be a crazy, crazy story for Papara Supermassive.
Yeah, it would be an incredible story. And I mean, that we would be referencing that for many years to come because it's somewhat out of nowhere and it's in the face of some really damn good teams. I think PMSL EU definitely produces some I want to say like the entirety of PMSL EU is super fearsome. I'm not going to say that because I'm not that biased to say that about my own region, but I will say we do produce some incredibly good teams. So let's take a look at some highlights from that game. But overall, yeah, we do produce some incredible squads. I mean, S2G, Regnum Kaya, 2 incredible powerhouses inside of our own region. But now Paparazzi Supermassive just looking really clean with that. And I think that where it kind of clicked for me was where I saw Lost go down, but then the snap shot coming through from Nico. That's where I was like, oh, this team is actually good. It's not just a fluke.
Yeah, they're absolutely cracked, and they're crazy in these games. And look at that, 18 eliminations. And so far in this split of PMSL, that's the most that we've seen so far by a single team in a single game. 28 points. Jetgo, look at that. 1 placement point and the 10 eliminations that they were able to secure. Then it comes back to Fenerbahce. Finally, they've been performing. We've seen them at the bottom of the leaderboard a couple times already today, but now making up for that. And so is Regnum Caria. It looked like they were coming back with a vengeance. And usually it does take them a little bit of time to kick things off and show us exactly how well they can play. And look at that, 56. That is crazy for a 4-game performance from this roster. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable day from Paparazzi Supermassive. But I think you bring up a really good point about Regnum Kari. That does take them sometimes a little while to get the engine warm, let's say.
Yeah.
And get into these matches looking good. But I think that Regnum Kari is definitely one of those teams that performs a lot better on an international scale. I think they're running into things that they're not super used to. And I think that is always hard when you're always playing within your own region, like Paparazzi Supermassive. You come to understand like the tendencies of the teams inside of that region. If Regnum Kaya esports regularly getting towards the internationals, it's like, oh, now we have to change our whole play style to accommodate for. I don't want to say less skilled teams, but I am saying less skilled teams.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Difficult.
Listen, skill levels vary. I mean. We can't really sit here and say that all these players are exactly on the same skill level, can we? When the points prove otherwise.
Yeah, and I think that is tough. That's tough, right? Because suddenly you're thinking to yourself, well, we can probably make this rotation, but then teams there when they probably shouldn't be. And I think that definitely comes into effect. But that's me excusing Regnum Kari for today. Well, that's all I'll do. I mean, if tomorrow I need to see changes.
I mean, if you're excusing Regnum Caria, then what do we say about the teams that are currently at the very bottom of the leaderboard as well, though? I mean, for example, Falcons, they're on 15th place, 16th actually. They're just above the qualification barrier. Boards, we're gonna see them in the next game. and they need a
And for how
chicken
long?
dinner.
Yeah, for how long?
Yeah, exactly. For how long
are
are we actually going to see them? Because they have gotten nothing in 3 out of the games that they played so far, which is definitely not what I expected from them. But hey, it's okay. I mean, I know they were consistent in the group stage. At the end of the day, the goal here is to get yourself out of the survival stage and into the grand finals. Once we see you in the grand finals, that's when I want to see the crazy performances, and that's when I want to see you risk it all and get yourself to top 3.
Yeah, and I think that for the Falcons, it's a very different story. I think Regnum Kaya has powerhouses on that team. I think Falcons have been holding on to their spot for a long while, and they're not a team with bad players. And I think that it made things all the worse when they won last year in spring, because I don't think that team was ready to go to the international. And even there, they did very, very well. And I think that's the funny thing is they're a team that has their head just underwater, and they keep coming back up for air now and again. I think they're somewhat out of their depth at times, but by God, do they give it a good go. So
yeah,
again, I think for the Falcons, I'm not sure I would excuse this performance. I think they can do better.
Definitely.
It's not one of those things where I'm hating on them for being in 15th, because I think they're a team that has its ups, and they're a team that absolutely has its downs. And they're where I sort of expect them to be right now. And also, even if they moved up to 5th place tomorrow, I'd be like, oh, that also makes sense to me. They're a difficult team to read.
I think for me, I won't really I mean, yes, they haven't had the best performance in the group stage. It doesn't look like they're having the best performance in the survival stage, right? But I won't judge them until that actually impacts them. I'm not judging any team based on their performance until we actually see what the result of that performance means. If they make it into the grand finals, okay, perfect. Your main goal here was just to make it to the grand finals. But once you make it to the grand finals and you're still performing at the same level and you're stuck on 14th, 15th, barely getting any points, that's when I will start to critique you. But at the moment, as long as you're achieving the goal in this current stage of the competition, it's not a huge deal. Yes, I know obviously the higher placements that you get, the better prize pool that you're able to secure for yourself, but the main goal is always to get to the next stage and play for PMGC. That's where the real money is. That's where the real prestige is. And of course, the global championship title being on the line. That's what everyone here is working towards.
Yeah, it's what everyone wants, is what everyone needs. And again, it's a huge jump in prize pool when you get towards PMGC at the top of things. So grand finals, like you say, that's where we need some of the source to be brought out in full view, because I think otherwise you're going to go down pretty easily. And I think that we'll see that very clearly on day one, where teams will come in, and if they're still performing exactly how they did, which is pretty subpar in the knockout stages, we'll clearly be able to see whether it's a case of, oh, we've just made it out of 16, so we don't really need to do too much more, or if it's a case of we just made it out of the bottom 20. So
we got to do so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we cross that bridge, we'll get into a further discussion about it and the teams once we make it there. But at the moment, I see a lobby. And I see 64 players in that lobby of the next game. And it is going to be the final game for the day. Remember, 5 games per day, but it is 5 groups of 4. I was like 20 groups of 4. That's crazy. So, 5 groups. 5 groups of 4 teams. Yeah, listen, next time. 5 groups of 4, 16 players, or 16 teams rather, joining us, 64 players every single match. And now with it being the last one, it is going to be on Miramar. And keep in mind, the schedule changes every single day, because we want to make sure that every single team is able to play the exact same number of Erangels, Miramars, and Rondos, because we like having Rondo. And we will make sure that Blank enjoys it.
Eventually,
I don't know how.
Eventually,
listen. It's a slow burn. Okay, it will slowly get. I feel like it's an acquired taste. It's gonna take some time.
I'm a required component of the system. Everyone else can love Rondo, but I think that I need to be here to give my thoughts and feelings on why 100%. maybe it's not the best. Okay, but I'm here to ask what can be improved. You don't have that guy. Nothing's going to change. Okay.
Yeah, you know, we did have a little bit of a conversation about it, and one of the things that I guess me and John mentioned was too many recalls. Maybe, like you said yourself, maybe having less recall stations around, maybe putting a cap on how many times someone can be recalled into the map. That way, it doesn't get absolutely crazy. Maybe you get like one recall, that's it. Or hey, if you wipe a team, you can recall your team one more time. I don't know. I'm just calling here and throwing out ideas. Don't listen to me talk about that randomness. Listen to me talk about this game, because here we go. Final game into Miramar. 5 out of 15 for the first day of the knockout stage for PMSL EU, and here we go.
Yeah, it's a nice number, 5 out of 15. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel with that one for some of these squads getting in towards the grand finals. But this is Miramar at the end of the day. Pretty easy playing path for a lot of our squads here. You can get to basically anywhere you want. It's a slightly long drop over towards El Azahar, but you're likely going to be picking up vehicles anyway around Hacienda del Patron and truck stop, so no big deal. We'll see if anyone drops in Monte Nuevo. I'm curious to see if anyone drops in Monte Nuevo, actually, because I think it was open last Miramar, and we had a team moving up over towards Ruins. Just slightly concerned about.
Yeah, I want to say when it comes to Fortuna, though, because we did mention it before, and I told you, Noisy Boys do like to drop there. Look at that. They dropped there as well. So we'll get some looks at that city, because we rarely get to see it, you know? We rarely have teams actually dropping on that location. And I like it. I wanna see a little bit more of the map. I've never personally dropped there. I've always gone like other edges.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just an annoying hot drop though.
100%.
Where it's difficult. It's not difficult, it's just like frustrating to find your opponents in that area, especially around the fountain, and then there's all the buildings around the side. It's like, God, be anywhere. I prefer a position where it's like, oh, I can just hold up in a building. But because it's so circular, you do have this issue where angles could be anywhere. Luckily in esports, not everyone plays it. And if you've only got one team taking it, then fine. Also, it's a great drop spot for a particular plane path like that, where it's the first stop on the plane's path. So you immediately get out, you immediately get loot. It does mean you need to find vehicles quite quickly, which is why they have 2 players on the north side, and then they can get a move on. So I think it's a fair move from the Noisy Boys in this case. They're going to be very quickly looted up, and we do have Monte Nuevo actually covered here with Jet Go.
Yeah, that we do. And just north of that, we have El Pozo taken by the Falcons, and I believe one of the teams, aka Shockwave, is not present in this game. So that means they'll have an easier time, because Shockwave was always dropping either around Ruins, or they would hot drop with the Falcons on El Pozo and cause them problems. Keep in mind, boys and girls, last time we saw Falcons in this map, they did not have a great time. They may or may not have fallen to their deaths and dooms. Not just one of them as well. It was a team effort.
It was.
Honestly, trust me. Look back.
Effort.
It really was.
A team effort. Yeah, they really tried to get everyone to jump off the top there.
Maybe they're just upping the difficulty on the game for themselves.
Yeah, well, I don't think Redox or Navarro really appreciate it.
Personally. Oh, God, no.
But this is the game for BRA to catch up to Paparazzi Supermassive, as hard as that is. But certainly possible. Averaging right now an above 10-point average, which is very, very good. Around about 12.3, I want to say. 12.3 reoccurring.
We're doing this kind of math today, are we?
I think I'm right.
I think I've done enough math over the past couple of days. I'm
37
done.
divided by 3. Yeah, 12.3.
Yeah, 12.3 recurring. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, off the top of the dome, you know.
Off the dome. Okay. Actually, I asked this question to John, and I'm going to ask you the same. Do you have a college degree?
A college degree? I have a university degree.
Do you have a degree? You have a uni degree. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Why? What do you?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
John does not. I feel like I'm just outing him here.
Now, John, to be fair to John, right? He has half a math degree and half a computer science degree.
Yeah.
So I think both of those are pretty tough subjects. So fair play
Agreed.
to him. Yeah.
I did computer science, and I can confirm, math is hard, and programming even harder. Wait, what's your degree in, out of curiosity, as we wait for the zone to give us something to talk about?
Journalism.
Nice.
Specifically video journalism, which is how I got into this.
Okay, so that just got you in the game. Nice. I like it.
Yeah. I ended up doing like some projects with some university esports companies. And from there, I made my way to doing things with some more prominent companies who are in the space who will not be named for copyright reasons.
Don't worry, this is not a job interview.
Yeah. Well, no, it's going out live on PUBG Mobile, so I don't want to name brands. But yeah, then it went from there, and I got into casting, which is pretty fun.
And you know what? It got you here to PUBG Mobile.
It did eventually.
And that's what matters. You ended up here with one of the best games in the world. That's right.
Yeah. Very, very fun. Very, very fun. But we're heading over towards the western side of the map. Actually, pretty cruel circle, I want to say. Because
I haven't had one of those in a while, actually. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've had one of those.
Yeah, we're cutting out a ton of space. What do you want to hazard a guess, a percentage on that?
Maybe I want to say 15, around 15 to 18%, something like that.
Yeah, let's go 18. Let's be ultra specific nerds. I think around about 18% of the circle is gone just because it's on the mountain range right now. Unplayable area, very rough. I also don't like that area either because there's this choice you have to make. It's whether you tuck yourself onto the side of the mountain, play one of the few areas around there, and hope to God that you can fight off the teams on the north or the south, or pick one of the prominent compounds like the concretes down towards the south side.
I think the third option would be to play under the teams playing the high ground on the very western edge. In a way, if that works. Do you think that would be a valid option?
Which one's
like
again?
Enemy?
Say again.
So, enemy of my enemy type of deal. The teams that would make the decision to play on the high ground, on the westernmost point, like on those high little areas. Would you think playing under those teams is a good idea as well?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much high ground to be spoken of anyway, and usually you would just send like one player up there anyway. But if you're playing underneath them, it's very barren. It's really barren. But the only thing that keeps you safe there is this like a little lip that kind of trends upwards. That gives you cover from the eastern side, and then it slopes to your north and your south, which keeps you covered from the other teams in that area. And you just have this somewhat mutual understanding that we're not going to attack each other until the circle demands it. So yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I don't particularly enjoy it myself. I mean, Besiktas is in that situation right now where they're scouting down, seeing where Falcons is playing. Falcons plays underneath them. So now likely Besiktas and the Falcons are going to be in like a bit of a mutual agreement to essentially not bother each other for a little while. Yeah,
a little gentleman's agreement. Let's see if the agreement sticks into the later stages of the game. And right now, I'm seeing IWNRX is one of the teams that could be thinking about playing towards the mountainside on the west, but they decide now we might just go to Ladriera and play there for the beginning. Because like there's no need for you to force yourself up high in that location right now. It's still the very first zone. No!
Ooh.
No! Except the second zone. I literally cast a curse here. It's all the first zone. You don't have to make such a decision like that. And then the zone pulls this.
Yeah, that's
20 or 30. No, this is like 30-ish of the zone. No?
I'd say I'm feeling. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is like 30%. It's a lot. Either way, it's a lot. Let's say 32% of the zone there. About 32% of the zone. It's bad. It's really bad. The concretes now are really valuable to any team that can get them, which is just sort of to a little bit of the eastern side of Falcons. But you are going to be bearing the brunt of a lot of teams coming your way. And I think IWNRX are one of the first ones to grab that position. Yeah, this is disgusting. There's going to be not a fairly quick Miramar, but in terms of the speed at which players are starting to go down, it's a rough area to play. Simple as.
I think it's going to be a very, very rough end game with the way that the zone has positioned itself. And I cannot wait to see how the teams are going to handle that. Well, at least we didn't have to wait 14 minutes or 13 and a half minutes to see our first elimination. We finally got one there. And let's see if Falcons can continue and make up, because right now they are in 16th with 14 points. But the main team that I honestly want to look at is Boars. If we can have a look at Boars and see what's going on with them, it looks like we're going to see S2G get lit up. And Calce, no chance to fight back. HamCG gets confirmed as an elimination as well. S2G, the struggle continues.
Oh, he just threw a nade at his dead body. So mean. Yeah, I mean, if you are any team on the outside, you got to force your way in. You know who I really feel bad for is Narvalo. He was playing scout on that north side for the Falcons. How the hell is he going to get back to the rest of his team now?
I don't know if he does. Oh, yeah. I don't know if he does.
Know he does.
I'm not sure. He might just be a solo for the rest of the game now. That's what it looks like, because Besiktas and Fenerbahce, Ida, all in front of him. No. It's going to be crazy. I think he'll just have to play as a solo. Maybe just the third party from a distance and assist the Falcons any way he can there. But at the moment, yeah, this is shaping up to be an incredibly crazy game.
Yeah, this ain't easy. This ain't easy at all. Boars are down towards the southeast side, because you were asking a little bit about them earlier.
Yes.
They're on the south side of La Triera. Not the most fun crossing, I'd say, because they've got to move back. Okay. Okay. This is disgusting. It's actually disgusting. I'm disgusted.
So
you
what?
Should
this
be
is
disgusted.
Yeah. Like seriously, honestly, the only reaction I can think of right now is, brother, what doing?
Yeah. It is, brother. This is gross.
What's this, brother?
Actually gross.
What's this? But I mean, look. Falcons are in the middle of the zone. Rauf must be happy about that call. Narvalo making a crazy drive, but he failed. At the first hurdle, might I add, by the way.
Did he actually get knocked? No.
Yes. Extremely expected turn of events for the Falcons player. He was caught off by Besiktas, but he wasn't eliminated just yet. It was just a knock. So, possibility is there, but the possibility of Regnum Carrier not getting a lot of points this game is also there right now. Celian and Jetko have been consistently getting ridiculous eliminations in the games, but haven't been able to pair it with placement points. We're under fire for a little bit. Yeah, there it is. Narvalo taking down. Falcons will lose a member. Boars are under fire from IW and RX. The question is, the zone has been constantly shifting towards the west twice now. Does it do it again? Can it do it again?
Yes.
Should it do it again?
I believe it's going to go. So to be fair, stage 4 is usually the stage where things normalize. But I hope he goes west again. It made me laugh.
Wow. You're a horrible person. But you know what? I agree with you. I want it to go west again.
I mean, Boars definitely struggle. I want Boars to end up on a goose egg. I don't think I've seen in a while a team that was projected to do well in a knockout stage get 0 points going into day 1.
Yeah, that would be absolutely nuts. Just the fact that it's 0, nothing. Like nothing went right. Absolutely, imagine a whole day where everything that can go wrong goes wrong. That's what you will see when you look at Boars and the first day of competition for them here in the knockout stage. Not sure how or where it went wrong for this roster, but definitely nowhere near what I know they're capable of. Things have got to change for them.
Yeah,
they really do.
Absolutely. I mean, they looked good. They really did look good. It's just not the case anymore.
Where'd the zone go?
Especially on this day one.
No, stop it!
He did go west.
Stop
He did go
it!
west.
Get
That's
some
funny.
help, please!
That's actually funny. He went west again.
Yo, script writers on point with this one.
They're doing well. I mean, every team on the southeast side is. I'm trying to think of like a not horrible way to put it, but they're somewhat in the bin. Let's put it that way.
They're trying to get out, though. They're attempting.
Yeah,
they're tripping
They're
slightly.
lifting the lid on the bin, but someone is pushing the bin lid shut.
Yeah, they can't even like have a look outside yet. No, they can't do that.
Yeah, and the bin's currently been put into a garbage truck.
And someone
time.
might attempt to set the bin on fire. I don't know.
Yeah,
They have to get-
the bin is also on fire. So
Yes.
this is a terrible position to be in.
Wait, they got an limb.
No,
They got a point.
I mean, well done, I guess. I mean, I'm not super happy about it, but well played. I guess you'll have a little bit more points going into day 2.
Something positive happening. Listen, just this one elimination will actually do so much. Like, it's actually going to do so much for the roster. You don't understand. Just because of them having...
That's the morale factor, right?
Yeah, straight up, it's the morale factor. And it's going to help them a decent bit. Now, can they get something more is the question, because looking at their position, it's going to be hard. A lot of teams are going to be coming down from the mountains towards them. If the zone... I mean, look, at this point, no matter where the zone goes, it's going to be incredibly difficult for quite a lot of those teams. We've seen a few zones end up here. And it's not pretty for the teams. It really isn't.
Fenerbahce, Simple Domak look to extricate themselves from the eastern side of the map. Besiktas still chilling on the north side. Both of them and the Falcons very happy with their early movements. We're into 16 minutes now, almost into stage 5, and the options are going to get very limited very quickly here, Sandstorm.
That they will for these teams. But one of the teams that's still kind of comfortable is Falcons, because they decided to scout that area earlier on. The question is, how much pressure will they be feeling when those teams start breathing down their necks as they push slowly but surely? Especially with them not being at full strength. Yes, I know they're 3 players, but still, in the late game, you need your full squad. You need to get as many points as possible and make up for the lackluster performance that we've seen from you today. Yes, you'll be here tomorrow and the day after. The chances are available. But you want to take every single chance. You can't be wasting games.
Ida, Vemre, as well as Darkin, sending some nades over towards Jetgo. Good smokes, denying those sightlines. These nades have to go a little bit further, and Jetgo is